watched the Monday night game from Mexico, and you kind of look back, and you're going to find yourself doing this as a Colts fan. I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. You're going to look back at this season and go, what if? I mean, so many different what ifs. What if they had a kicking game in that first game and you didn't lose to a 4-7 team? Man, how things change in the NFL from the beginning of the season and what we think compared to now as we get ready to hit the home stretch before Thanksgiving and then after Thanksgiving. I mean, incredible, right? Anybody have the Chargers at 4-7 at this point? You might even argue not a lot of folks would have the Chiefs at 7-4. There are a lot of people out there that probably thought Kansas City was better than that. Or the Rams at 6-4. Watching that Sunday night game. The Bears at 4-6. Eagles at 5-5. There are very few things I think that would be an easy call this season. Anybody agree? I mean, across the board in the NFL. Besides the Patriots. Take the Patriots out for a moment. What other situations team-wise would have been an easy call for you? What did you have locked and loaded? Maybe the Vikings in the NFC? Maybe? Maybe the Saints? Certainly not the Falcons. I know a lot of people thought more about the Falcons. I'm going to tell you this. And nobody in the world thought the Ravens were going to be as good as how they have played so far this year. Man, it is always fun to look around and compare to what we thought and then view it to how it actually goes down. And that also stands true for the Colts because you look at the Colts, right? And you look at their win over Jacksonville on Sunday afternoon. They're now 6-4. Everybody out there that's a Colts fan would have taken that before the start of the season. And again, keep in mind what all went down before the start of the season. Keep in mind what was going on with Andrew Luck. And remember, scramble mode. There are a lot of people out there that were happy. I wasn't necessarily happy as I was. I felt good about the fact that I wasn't going to have to talk about whether or not he was going to be available in what week and what's going on and how he feels. Not having that conversation has been brilliantly refreshing. And there was a point in time when all of you dug it and all of you would tune in. But at the very end, everybody got tired of it. And I would agree. I was one that was worn out. Certainly there would have been better timing. You could have been set up better. But I think it would stand to reason now at 6-4, most anybody out there would have taken. Now, granted, one of the reasons why sitting here you may not feel completely reassured at 6-4 about this team is because how you felt before they dropped 2 of 3. Because then that team had the opportunity, in a lot of minds, to transition into what Baltimore has become, what the Ravens have become. They were kind of on that doorstep. And then all of a sudden, you hit the skids and you barely survived Denver and obviously the well-documented 2-game losing streak that culminated with that embarrassing loss over a week and a half ago on Sunday to the Dolphins. I think most people out there would take a 6-4 mark right now. Anybody? All right, Colts-wise, 6-4. It is a short week. I'm for one. I want to see T.Y. Hilton play on Thursday. And I saw this tweet from Mike Wells a little bit earlier. T.Y. said he thought his season was over when he suffered the calf injury nearly a month ago. He sounded like he wants to play Thursday, but he has a couple of boxes to check. And that's one of the new things, right? One of the new Mount Rushmores, all these things. And what are the ones I talk about all the time? Mount Rushmores. Checking the boxes is one of those new things. That's the new cliche. Checking the boxes. General Manager Chris Ballard, Coach Frank Reich, and the doctors before he can return. Listen, I know nobody's going to say anything. And I know that they're all going to play this verbally, publicly, by the book, and that's how you should. But you guys think that this is more of a coaching, of a managerial, or a medical decision? Or is it T.Y.'s? Whose decision do you think ultimately this is going to be? I mean, we're talking about a team that not only he has been dominant against, but a team that has no clue, no answer, and at times seems incredibly frazzled when he's out there. Frazzled's a good word. Frazzled. I mean, Romeo Crennel will go down in history as one of the great defensive coordinators, and the dude hasn't felt like more times than not he's had a single answer on how to handle him. And in a week where you look at the scroll of injuries and guys that have already been ruled out of level of importance like Marlon Mack. I mean, Marlon Mack coming off, to me, it wasn't his greatest game, but as far as just eye-popping, oh, wow moves, that was his greatest game. Production-wise, it wasn't his greatest game. But with a good defense and the oh, wow spin moves and the design, I mean, all that included, you could argue that that was his most eye-popping / best game. T.Y. Hilton on Thursday is probably more necessary than anybody. It just seems like, for whatever reason, this dude gives the Colts an edge. Now, if you're asking about the reason, he's owned them. And as Mike Wells tweeted earlier today, 9 catches, $199. 2018, 5 for 175. 2017, 9, 223. 2014, going all the way back to 2013. 7 for 121. There has been an ownership there. And again, the Texans defensively, for whatever reason, they look like that they have very few answers with him. And what that does, that opens up all these different areas that are going to need opened up coming up on Thursday. This is going to be a tough one. I mean, you think about the Texans, they are coming off being embarrassed on the road by Baltimore, and Baltimore is one of the best teams in the NFL, if not arguably the best right now. We kind of always play in the realm of the now. Now, you can make an argument that they're the best team in the now, but absolutely got depantsed by the Ravens did the Texans on Sunday. In your building, this is a must-win. I mean, hell, I talked about how this is a must-win for the Colts. Think about this from a Texan standpoint. This is a must-win. And there's a lot of belief certainly in that fan base. Like I talked to a couple of different radio stations in Houston. They are awesome dudes, by the way, to go on with. But we talk all the time about this, and for whatever reason, I mean, it seems like fan-wise, the Colts are in the dome. The Colts are in the dome with the fans down there. It's just like, oh, here we go. And it's weird because the only thing that has been medicine for that dome appearance for the Texans fans have been like bottom-of-the-barrel backup quarterbacks. The Brandon Whedons of the world. Brock Osweiler. That's been the elixir. I like to pull out a word from 1945 during the opening segment. That's been really, for the answers of this team, it's been few and far between. But for this Colts team, and I'm not trying to rush the dude back, and I'm not telling you he is going to play. And again, I know you got to, quote, check all the boxes on this. But to me, I would guess, and I said this on Sunday, and Big Joe and Joe Wrights, they both agreed with me. I think that this is going to come down to more of I'm ready to go, coach, put me in, than it is anybody else. And listen, and they would all say, nope. We're going to make the decision here, and that's fine. That's fine. But no T.Y. like you do. How big of a gamer that he is. Yeah, I just wonder whether or not he's going to be ready coming up on Thursday. I would be very surprised if it's anything more than, hey, I'm healthy and here's my decision. I'd be really surprised. So if you guys want to talk about that, we can at 239-1070. Email address at JMV at 1070thefan.com. I mean, it's going to be a good one. Now, again, you look back at this Colts season so far, and if you would have taken care of some of these situations that would have, you would think, easily been taken care of, then obviously you'd want to get this win, but it is not a major factor, as major a factor as it is now. because you got a deadlock, and right now you got the win. I mean, you can put this on a stranglehold. The Texans still have to play the Pats, and certainly the Colts still have to go on the road to New Orleans in mid-December. They got some games. No question. I mean, going to Jacksonville. I mean, last year was an absolute offensive fiasco. I think Jacksonville might be loaded up after the way that they looked here at Lucas Oil Stadium last week. So there's still some tough opportunities out there. But, I mean, you go back-to-back within your own division here, and you got the red carpet out for you to close strong. If you're the Colts, how necessary is T.Y. Hilton? Do you think he ends up playing? And is it going to be more about him, more about his coach, more about his GM, or more about the medical staff? Kind of makes you wonder. Sorry about that, AJ. I know AJ's a big Vikings fan. How about that? Yeah, by the way, I saw Dane Fife on the street a little while ago, and I honked at him, and I didn't even get a damn hand gesture. Got nothing. So come on, man. Nothing. But back to the NFL. We'll talk about week number 12. I'm going to tell you what, there is always a meeting at about 3:15 of engineers in this room, and I know damn straight that Ken and Rick Pike, see, it used to be back in the day I'd have all this bourbon, and there'd be like a meeting at my desk, and I still do, but now it's like a meeting here because I'm sure these guys are just tired of us. My apologies. It's just worn out. Anyway, we'll work on some Week 12 for you, and this is going to come at you really quick. Coming up on Thursday Night Football down in Houston. 239-1070. We'll talk about the Monday Nighter last night. It was all right. It wasn't great. I mean, Mahomes wasn't great. Just like the Chargers and Phillip Rivers. Last night kind of felt like the Swan Song for Phil, didn't it? Anybody else think it kind of looked like the Swan Song maybe this season for Phillip Rivers? Hey, here's the other thing, because we were talking about this the other night on Sunday Night Football. They were in L.A., and they showed a shot of the new stadium, which is going to house both the Rams and the Chargers in Southern California. And listen, I don't know anything about construction. I don't know anything about building. I don't know anything about the timeliness of getting something done. But if that thing is going to be ready for the start of next season, it still looked damn skeletal. It didn't look like it was going to be anywhere near ready. And before you laugh, consider, you guys are great, by the way. Terre Haute's own right there. That's Ken Myers. See you, man. Did you see them show the video of that stadium in L.A. the other night? I go, holy hell, it didn't look like it's going to be ready for next year. You guys better pick up the pace a little bit here. It's funny. L.A. Hey, by the way, BT, thanks for asking. My mom is doing fantastic. I was down in Bedford. We had to go to the doctor today, and I was down in Bedford at about 7 a.m., and I had to swing by the Bedford Walmart because I had to pick up some stuff. I'm going to tell you what, they have the most Big Red of any place I've ever seen in my life. And that's why I told you, like 3 years ago, it was the Big Red capital of the United States. And you can tell, I mean, every damn machine is full of it. Even the blue crap. Now, there's no way I'm drinking that blue crap that looks like Windex. What is it? Big Red Code Blue? It looks like Windex. But yeah, the Big Red capital of the U.S., Bedford, Indiana. But thank you, BT. That's very nice of you. We can hit that. We'll double back a little bit, too. We got some college football coming up this weekend. We'll certainly talk about the matchup with IU, the disappointment last weekend of IU. And, I know the fourth down call. It's like I said yesterday, just either punt and use your defense or go for it and trust your off. I don't care about that. I mean, you get all this happy horse bleep and we're going to do this and be funny and trickery in Happy Valley where have you been dominated? I mean, no. Everybody was yelling no. You guys are all at home yelling, no, what? No. And while I know IU fans, you want to be eternally grateful for the job that Tom Allen is doing right now, but situations like that leave you still to wonder, don't they? You do. You still wonder. Hey, I got news for you. Some Boilermaker fans are probably wondering a little bit, too, regarding Jeff Brom. Now, it's a different capacity here of wonder. But as much as you go 7 wins and, you know what, the first time in the top 25 for a week since 1994, situations like that still make you wonder, don't they? Kind of doesn't, you're not yet all in. At some point. Man, this weekend is huge. I hope you guys go down there and have an absolute blast. Can you imagine if I were 21 again? Well, if I were 21 again, holy hell. Down there this weekend is going to be a blast. What do you think is more of a factor here? Missing Hilton or missing Mack if Hilton doesn't play on Thursday night?
I think it's pretty obvious, T.Y. I mean, you were, 0-7 before Sunday without him?
But the reason why I ask this, though, you consider the running back situation. I know Jordan Wilkins expects to be back, but he's not Marlon Mack. Jonathan Williams goes over 100 on Sunday. He's going to be there. But Hilton is still the biggest, right? I mean, it's still. I need to put that out there as a Connecticut water question of the day. Who's more vital? Who would be more vital? Who's more of a loss if they don't play on Thursday night, T.Y. or Mack? And believe me, it's not just, and Kyle was in the right for saying that because he has been so good and virtually in the dome of the Texans now for a long time. But Marlon Mack against a good defense proved his worth and then some. And he just got going, and you just got going to feel good, and he has been healthy. And the big question going into this year was being able to be on the field and staying healthy, and I'd be damned if that didn't happen. And a hand. All right, we'll discuss that. Hey, you guys had an enjoyable Monday night with the Pacers, right? I mean, from top to bottom, there was little to complain about. And if there is a team in the NBA that needs about a 5-day break, besides Kyle, who has to work those games and is probably worn out himself, it's going to be this Pacer team. A 5-day break is coming at a great time. Make some shots, throw some passes. Aaron Holiday, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. This going to start to be the norm, or is that just one game? I mean, you can't help when he plays well, but it's been so sparse, but you can't help to go, wow, you know how good this guy would be if he could harness this and play nearly at this level or give you consistency, because that's the biggest thing he has not done. You know, that's why after night number 1, he found himself out of the rotation. And last night, hopefully that was a glimpse, because last night he was good and fun to watch. Christopher writes this: what team do you think is the biggest bust at this point in the NFL season? Well, listen, if their fans cared and they don't, and there are only about 25 of them, I would say the Chargers right off the bat. But because their fan base is so large and because of the season they had, and because, the Bears last year had a genius at head coach. And it's funny how quickly you can go from genius status to holy hell, I can't tie my shoes status. And that's Matt Nagy, and that's the Bears right now. Because now, all of a sudden now, you are full within question of your future being guided at the quarterback position. And that is the worst place to be in. You're not. Remember after year number 3 here? After year number 3 of Andrew Luck, and hey, you go to the AFC title game, and it was like a 3-year step stool of success. And then it's time to break through, and it was a world of blank after that. Couple 8-8s, 4-win season, questions, coaching change, general manager change. Got to bring in consulting firms to figure out who's the real wank. And pay a consulting firm $250K to say, well, the general manager's the problem. Or maybe you guys should bring in an anvil to hit. I mean, all genius. I'm telling you what, consultants of the world have it the absolute greatest. Because here's what you do. And if it doesn't work, all you have to do is say, hey, you know what? You did not do it the right way. I need to be a consultant. Listen to me, but sure as hell don't blame me when that crap doesn't work. But now you look at the Bears, I think. Would you argue the Bears' biggest disappointment, or is it if the Chargers had more of a sustained and profound fan base, I would say them.
I think the Bears.
I think it's the Bears.
That defense. I mean, what happened to that defense at the beginning of the year? We thought they were going to be the top defense by far in the NFL.
I think right now, the Falcons at 3-7. I mean, they had, they kind of dismantled it a little bit, getting rid of Mohamed Sanu, but they had what they thought was a high-level team, and they played well recently. Now, winners of 2 consecutive, I believe. You know what's funny? Can you be a disappointment at 7-4? Can the Chiefs be considered a disappointment, or is it just kind of getting through the injury of Mahomes and that's your excuse right there?
They've had a lot of injuries to their O-line. Tyreek Hill missed some time, then Mahomes, obviously.
I thought their change in defense was junk. I mean, I thought their change in D. I guess it looked pretty good last night because they picked off Phil Rivers about 9,000 times. Maybe it's getting better with Steve Spagnuolo, but early season, I mean, they put all the blame a year ago of not getting to the postseason. They put all the blame on Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator, the defensive scheme, and the players, and got rid of everybody and changed everybody over. And early season, it looked like a mess. Last night it looked like a pretty good deal. That Monday night win. All right, quick break on the other side. Jonathan Jack, I'll leave with you guys. Jeremiah Johnson's going to join us. Coming up, we'll talk about the Pacers. If there's an NBA team out there that needs 5 days off, it certainly would be the blue and gold. Greg Rakestraw, top of the hour. We'll talk a little college with him. Man, the semi-state high school schedule on Friday is a humdinger. We'll get to that and some Colts stuff with the post-game show host, top of the hour, Stephen Holder, the Athletic, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. I'm going to ask him who he thinks ultimately is going to make the decision on T.Y. Medical staff, Reich, Ballard, or T.Y. himself. That sounds like a Connecticut water question of the day as well. Short week for the Colts. Thursday night on the road down in Houston. Tomorrow, Larceny Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. We're at Harrah's Hoosier Park in Anderson. You can join us there for free liquids, as we always hand them out. Got that. Twin Peaks on Thursday. Big Joe and I are going to take over at about 5:30 and do the Colts pregame huddle. You can come watch the game with us there. And then on Friday, one of my favorite places on the east side, 10th and Shadeland, Manly's Irish Mutt. Shout out to my man Mike Manley over there, because here we come. It's always a blast. Great food, great beverage, great folks. Very Cecina/Cathedral joint over there, which is good. Quick break. Your phone calls, your chance to win some Black Crows tickets. I got some wrestling tickets, a 4-pack for you as well. Back with you next.
Join the fan November 23rd as we celebrate Movember with Franciscan Health. Listen on air and online for tips to stay healthy. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
When I say you should get your furnace tuned up every year, you might think I'm just blowing hot air. But studies show yearly tune-ups can actually make your furnace last a whole lot longer. So if you haven't had your furnace maintenance this winter, give the experts at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning a call. It's the best way to make sure your house stays warm this winter and many, many winters to come. And here's some more reasons to call them. 1 Hour Furnace Tune-Ups pinpoint potential problems way ahead of time. You get the regular maintenance, and that can prolong the life of your system. Their techs, more importantly, know Indianapolis well. They know what you may need for special attention in this environment. They're total pros, courteous, respectful of your home and time, and they stand by their work. If you know your system needs repair, they have a straightforward pricing guide, so you'll know what you're paying for before they even start. Right now, just $79 for a furnace tune-up. $79. Now, don't wait for the winter weather to get here. Call my friends at 855-1-HOUR today and schedule a $79 furnace tune-up. 855-1-HOUR. Terms and conditions apply. Call for details. License 800-10668.
It's a quiet night on the Indiana sports scene, but here are some national headlines from BetIndianaNews.com. With your Bet Indiana News update, I'm Kevin Bowen. Tua Tagovailoa's season-ending hip injury is having a major impact on the college football betting market. Alabama's odds to win the national championship tripled since last week, lengthened from 6-1 to 18-1. Also, the Crimson Tide went from 9.5-point favorites to just 1-point chalk over rival Auburn in next week's Iron Bowl. LSU and Ohio State are the co-favorites to win it all, both listed slightly above 2-1 odds, with Clemson in third and Georgia muscling its way into the top 4. In the NFL, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson has surpassed Russell Wilson to become the favorite to win this season's MVP award. After another otherworldly performance in Sunday's rout over the Texans, Jackson is now plus 140 to be named MVP, with Wilson, whose Seahawks had a bye this past week, offered at 2-1 odds. This sports betting update has been brought to you by Bet Indiana News. Visit BetIndianaNews.com for more sports betting coverage and insights.
Chad and Tyler Peterman for Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey Chad, how about we give our customers a fall break on a new heating system?
Good idea. How about buying a qualifying Bryant Evolution system and take your choice of a $1,000 Peterman gift card or 72 months interest-free financing?
Use that $1,000 for a fall break vacation or take 72 months free financing to pay for your new Bryant system. That's a great offer.
Either way, customers get the peace of mind of heated comfort this winter with their new Bryant Evolution system.
You can take advantage of 72 months interest-free financing to fit your budget or take a $1,000 gift card vacation on Peterman.
The choice is yours when you text Peterman to 41411 and schedule your new system installation.
Call us at 317-859-4270 or text Peterman to 41411 today for your fall break special.
Call Peterman for heating, cooling, and plumbing. Peterman's the way to go.
If you're looking for a dependable pre-owned commercial work truck, one name says it all. Indy Trucks at 96th and Keystone or IndyTrucks.com. Box trucks, cargo vans, flatbeds. If it's a work truck you need, you'll find it at Indy Trucks. Plus, they're inspected, certified, and come with a 3,000-mile, 3-year repair warranty. Easy to get to and easy to work with at Indy Trucks at 96th and Keystone or IndyTrucks.com. Indy Trucks, we'll be looking for you.
Attention men, it's a proven fact that a lack of intimacy in a relationship can hurt self-esteem and lead to emotional detachment. Let the Indianapolis Men's Clinic help you create the relationship you have always wanted and put an end to ED and PE with one visit. Erectile dysfunction and premature issues are simple to eliminate with the right treatments and the providers that understand how they work. The doctors at Indianapolis Men's Clinic offer the latest and available treatments with same-day solutions for erectile and premature issues. You can increase ability and stamina in just one visit. Most men think the little blue pills or testosterone are the only options. Not true. Call 999-9000 to meet with a licensed medical providers no matter what age you are. And even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or have had your prostate removed, they can help you too. 999-9000. 999-9000 or go to indymensclinic.com. That number again, 999-9000.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Vuse Alto is a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Simple to use, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Our best vapor yet at our best price ever. 99 cents plus tax at participating retailers. 99-cent offer applies to Alto device. Pods sold separately. Underage sale prohibited.
It's the Let It Snow event at Windsor Jewelry. Buy gifts now through December 18th, and if it snows on Christmas Day, your gifts are free. Complete rules and gift ideas at windsorjewelry.com.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires, only at Big O Tires, the team you trust. Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires, only at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Join the Fan November 23rd as we celebrate Movember with Franciscan Health. Listen on air and online for tips to stay healthy. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like B&W Plumbing and Heating? Well, find that American Standard dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
The Ride with JMV.
You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of damn nerds.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Well, we got JJ coming up in a minute. Fox Sports Indiana. Kyle's over there. I'm John. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to Bedford. I was there this morning. Rakestraw, top of the hour holder, is going to be here at 5. I'm on the road Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and you can come out and join us. I'd love to have you. I love handing out free liquid. Free liquid for all. Hey, JMV, with it easy as it is right now to gamble on sports on our phones, do you think that we'll have a ton of people with gambling addictions in the next 5 or 10 years? I don't know. This depends on who goes overboard with it, I guess. I really hadn't thought about it. I guess, maybe I should, but I don't have an issue with it, therefore I haven't thought about it. I'm just waiting one of these days on the whole weed policy. I'll be dead by the time that happens, but my kids will be able to farm the fields. I mean, long dead by the time people around here go, oh, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Well, wait a minute. I don't know. It's going to lead. It's a gateway. Awesome. JMV, is there anything new regarding Southport? No, at some point, and I guess I'm going to leave this to Bobby. I wouldn't trust the Southport or the Perry Township knobs to do anything right. But at some point, I would put this to Bobby Cox. Let these kids play. These kids, or the kid that was involved is ineligible, but at some point, these kids don't deserve it. And listen, I don't care if we're talking about seniors or juniors. You only have, a couple of different opportunities to play in the sectional, and taking that away is a joke. It is a joke. So, be Cox out there. Change that up. No matter how egregious you think it is, or other than Bob Bohannon, no matter how knucklehead Perry Township is on the whole. Those kids don't deserve that. Jack is at 239-1070. Jack, go quick. How are you?
Jay, how you doing, my man?
Great. What's up?
Hey, I was going to talk about TY being out, but I'm going to go ahead and touch on Southport. A bunch of dumbasses. I'm going to have to concentrate the call.
Sweet. You should have talked about the tight ends. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, Jeremiah Johnson gets to follow that up from Fox Sports Indiana. Hey, why don't you guys lead off with that on Saturday night on Fox Sports Indiana Pacer pregame? Can you do that for me?
That phone call?
Yeah, can you guys play that?
Yeah, probably not actually, but we've got 4 days to get ready for that show, so you never know. Maybe we could try to work it in subliminally.
You think you might find something else right there?
Yeah.
Hey, even with both teams as banged up and missing essential players as we saw last night, and I heard Chris and Quinn talk about how this was their best win of the season. By virtue of the way that the Pacers handled it coming off of that loss to Milwaukee Saturday, was that their best win of the season?
I think so, just because of all the circumstances. You've battled through injuries the entire season, but when you're without both your point guards, it really kind of changes things. I think the other thing is, a game when you don't have either Domas or Miles, it definitely hurts you in the front court. But to not have Malcolm Brogdon and TJ McConnell, the guys that really have been known to the ones that generate offense and get kind of the ball where it needs to be over the course of the season, to not have either one and to go to Brooklyn and face a team that I know they don't have Kyrie Irving, but they had a lot of the same guys they had last year when they won 42 games. And, no Karis LeVert, obviously, but I thought maybe without Kyrie they might be energized. They might pass the ball a little bit more. They might be the team that we saw last season, and the Pacers just kind of took their will from them in the second quarter. I just saw two teams that are both struggling with injuries, but one that has really good chemistry and a good vibe about it right now, and that's the Pacers. And then Brooklyn is kind of the opposite. They were kind of looking at each other. They make a bad pass. They were kind of pointing fingers, and it didn't seem to be a cohesive group, and that's how you ended up with the margin you did.
It's Jeremiah Johnson, Fox Sports Indiana. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I started out the show talking about this. That was a fantastic performance from Aaron Holiday last night. There's no question about that. Is that something that is going to be more consistent that we can count on, or is that just circumstantial, in your opinion, last night? Because I'm hoping it's the first, but I'm worried that maybe it ends up being the second.
The only thing that I would say, caution a little bit, he's never probably going to play as many minutes as he did last night when Malcolm Brogdon is healthy. Even if T.J. McConnell's out or if he's playing alongside T.J. McConnell, he won't get that much playing time. And there could be an explanation that maybe he just needs to get into the rhythm of a game, and sometimes he comes in when playing shorter stints and forces things. And that, I think, will be the role he'll have moving forward once Brogdon is back. So he definitely has earned increased playing time, but that would be my thought. If he doesn't play as long, he doesn't get into the groove of the game, and then maybe he struggles a little bit. And he's also a second-year player, so you're not going to expect career-high nights in points and assists every night. And certain teams like the Bucks, with their length, can cause problems. They cause problems for the entire roster on Saturday night, and the Nets just appear to be right now a good matchup for the Pacers, no matter who Indiana puts on the court. So, but what you saw last night from Aaron Holiday gives you hope for the future, because I think he is one of these guys they were trying to build around. You hear so much about Domas and Miles and Malcolm and Victor as being your cornerstone pieces, but you drafted Aaron Holiday in the first round a couple of years ago. You didn't see what you wanted maybe the first year, really didn't get a chance to show what he could do. And with the bad start to the season that he had from a shooting perspective, he earned the trust of the coaching staff here in the last week. And so it will be fascinating to see when everyone is healthy what the rotations look like.
I would agree with you, too. I mean, you think about it, he played in that first game and then fell out of the rotation and had to work his way back. And I agree with you on the minutes that he is going to get at some point when this team is at its most healthy. But, I mean, he was connected last night, and he was making some passes that I'll sit here and be honest with you, JJ, I didn't think that he was capable of making.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of silly that, I would bring up confidence with him because he has a lot of confidence, and maybe you could argue at times he has too much confidence because he can, tend to make a pass that may be a little bit ill-advised or maybe shoot a shot that may not be within the flow of an offense. But he made some passes. I would agree, because I think that, if you ask me what Aaron Holiday's best position is, it's really more of a shooting guard, a combo kind of guard, but not a true point guard. But those were point guard-like passes last night. And so if he could play, the thing will be when Edmund Sumner comes back, I don't know how the backcourt second unit looks, but if he could play alongside T.J. McConnell, maybe against teams that aren't extremely tall in their second unit backcourt, that's kind of interesting to me, because I think he has so much offensive ability. You have to have guys on the court that can score. We know Aaron Holiday can, and now we know if the situation presents itself, he can have some assists as well.
JJ's Fox Sports Indiana, Pacers Live. He's the pre, he's the post, he's the halftime, he's the sideline. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So you got 5 days off, and there's no team in the NBA that needs this 5-day rest period more than the Pacers do going into that game with Orlando coming up on Saturday. Who do you expect back from injury at that point?
Just reading the tea leaves, it does feel like that the three guys that are very close were Jeremy Lamb, Malcolm Brogdon, and T.J. McConnell. Not knowing for certain, though, about Brogdon because he did not make the trip, and we really didn't even see him on Saturday on the bench because of the back pain. So I can't say with certainty that Brogdon would play this weekend, but McConnell and Lamb, they went through part of shoot-around yesterday. They were not ruled out until after the conclusion of that shoot-around. So I would think at the very least those two guys would be close and ready to go. And then you never know how backs, you probably had a back injury at different times. Sometimes they can linger. And if you have a bad back injury and back spasms, I mean, it's hard to walk, let alone play basketball. So you just hope he's kind of, he's getting the treatment that he needs. And the 4 days between games is exactly what, the entire team needs, but specifically Malcolm Brogdon. So those are the three that I would think would be close to coming back. And then it's just Victor and Edmund that are, at least a month or two away for those two guys. But if you get all three of those players back, then you're pretty much as healthy as you can be. I
don't know if you're allowed to do this, and if I put you in a situation, you can bow out, and I'll respect you for it because of your job status. But if you were, I'm not going to say placing a bet, but let's just say you're throwing a dart at a dartboard, would you try to hit on the dartboard Vic being back and playing before the turn of the calendar?
It's a tough one because every time, we talk with Nate McMillan, he's going to see the doctor here in a couple of weeks. And once that visit happens, any other, answer that you have, it's kind of just, it's all just a guess. And so if I say it, people think it's some inside information. And then maybe somebody, with the team thinks I know something. I really don't think that anybody knows. And so, the one thing I would think is it happened in late January, and everything you thought at the time and heard was it was almost a year injury. Now you think Victor's rehab could push that up just a little bit, but I wouldn't be out there thinking, oh, well, he's going to be back in December because he's practicing with the Mad Ants. That's the only thing that I would, caution fans to. So I don't necessarily want to say before or after January 1st, but it was about a year-long injury. It happened at the end of January. He seems to be on track with his rehab process, and I think everyone will know more once he visits with the doctors later this month.
Yeah, you doing any of the high school games?
Yeah, Class A. Actually
Nice.
going to do the play-by-play for the Class A football game next Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. Don't know the matchup yet. Should be a good game, though, and it'll be fun to do.
Just because it occurred to me, how did the coaches feel? How does Nate feel about the coaches' challenges so far this year?
I think that, based on what he said early in the season and in the preseason, I don't think if you asked him if he'd rather have the ability to or not or just remove it, I don't think he really wanted it. He made some comments about the coaches were kind of unanimous that the game is good. We've got this great product. Why are we going to try to change it and do this? So I don't think he really likes it. And I notice during the game sometimes there's a call he doesn't agree with, and they're still getting used to the process of how do we decide whether to use it. He always looks to Dan Burke, and Dan sometimes will kind of give him a signal. But what's uncomfortable is sometimes Dan immediately looks over to Chris and Quinn, who are at the monitor, and it's tough. Chris and Quinn are trying to call a game, and they're like, well, what do you think? And I don't think it's necessarily their place to say thumbs up or thumbs down. But there are so many things that go into it. You're factoring in the timeouts, which, I'll be honest, the timeouts in the NBA are kind of confusing anyways because you have to use a certain number of them, and then you can only have 2 when you get to the final 3 minutes. So I thought last night, though, it was almost a perfect use of the challenge because of how it turned out. The game was starting to turn in the Nets' favor. You use that challenge. Justin Holiday was out of it. I mean, he looked right at the coaches, and I think that made it easier because he said it didn't go off me. You could say, well, is it worth it to get the ball back with 6 seconds? Or
that was a big deal. That was a big deal last night, JJ. That overturn.
Yeah, and I thought Chris and Quinn, said it perfectly. They got a chance to kind of regroup. It was almost like a timeout without using a timeout. And Aaron Holiday did make a pretty impressive basket, but that definitely stopped the momentum. And the end of the third quarter kept it from being oh no, what could happen in this kind of game, to one that you felt pretty confident about going to the fourth quarter. So I don't think Nate really loves the challenge opportunity, but I think he liked how it worked out last night.
Do you think that Antetokounmpo should be allowed to either travel or carry the ball every time he touches it? Should that be allowed? Because, I mean, he's so damn talented, he doesn't really need to do it. But most of the time, hey, big ups. It was Ed Malloy the other night that called that. I haven't seen a palming or a carrying violation since 1986 in the NBA.
Yeah, and there were a few fans that were sitting near me that, gave him the standing ovation when he made that call and said, well, you could call that every time. And I do think the other thing that they've done with Giannis, if you look at his numbers, he's been in some foul trouble this season. And you think of the superstars in the NBA, they rarely foul out, but he's had a couple of games that he has. So he has so many genetic advantages that you don't want to give him any more. And I do think they've tried to limit a little bit, but the traveling – I don't want to see traveling up and down every time down the court. I thought the preseason, I thought they called way too many travels, and I thought, let's observe the travel but not call too many. It's tough on a guy like Giannis, how to call it, but I don't know.
I can't believe I just gave big ups to Ed Malloy, by the way, either.
I can't believe you did either. Yeah, we've got to file this one away for the promos.
It's embarrassing. So you're going to get the winner of West Washington, Indianapolis Lutheran, Adams Central, and Lafayette Central Catholic. Those 2 winners you got to call coming up, right?
That is correct. Last year worked that Class A game on the sidelines, and it was North Vermilion and Pioneer, so you'll have a couple of new faces. Saw North Vermilion was lost last weekend to Lutheran, and Lutheran's a great story. I saw the very starting that program when it was a JV football game in 2007 or 2008. So if they can get all the way back to the state finals, that would be a pretty cool story.
Lutheran always gets to this point right now. Well done over there on the southeast side of Indianapolis.
Yeah, they've done a good job making long runs, but I don't think they've made it to the state finals here. So
no, they haven't.
They're
No.
One step away, yeah.
All right, always a pleasure, man. Enjoy watching you guys. I appreciate you.
All right, John, we thank you for calling and watching, and now you have 4 days to not watch Pacers. What are you going to do all week?
That sucks. I don't know, man. My Twitter's going to be silent because nobody's going to be ripping the hell out of Miles. So what am I going to do?
Everyone just needs to calm down a little bit. I think that he's played pretty well in the first 2 games back, and I think the spacing's been pretty good. And I think that they're starting to figure out a little bit about how to use him and Domas, because we're seeing the two big lineup with Goga and Domas, or Goga and Miles. So those three are kind of interchangeable parts right now, and I have confidence that it can work.
Hey, Domas is letting her fly, too, from distance. I mean, he's starting to be more comfortable. It may not go in that often, but he's starting to feel more comfortable in doing it. So
yeah, and if you're not going to guard him out there, you have to shoot that.
You do.
Because otherwise they're just packing the paint. So I like him shooting it. I do think he may be one of the other guys that will benefit from these 4 days off. I think he takes such a beating, and he's worked so hard, and even wasn't 100% when he had the calf injury and then had a little bit of a hip injury on Saturday. So I look forward to seeing him on Saturday night, because a fresh and rested Domas is bad news for the Magic.
He's something. He really is. I mean, I was back in the Gonzaga era when he was there. I was on that bandwagon, and even more so now. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
All right, John. Take care.
So Jeremiah Johnson, Fox Sports Indiana. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. Let me cut out of here and take a break. I'll come back. Race Draw top of the hour holder, 5 o'clock hour, Black Crows tickets, and I'm going to work you in at 239-1070 coming up in a bit, too.
It's your chance to win a free entry into the 2019 Drumstick Dash presented by Wheeler Mission in Broad Ripple on Thanksgiving Day. Simply log on to 1075thefan.com.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Vuse Alto is a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Simple to use, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Our best vapor yet at our best price ever, 99 cents, plus tax at participating retailers. 99-cent offer applies to Alto device. Pods sold separately. Underage sale prohibited.
Hey, it's Stan Dockage for Family Leisure. It's the Man Cave sale happening right now. It's time to spoil Dad and give Mom some space. Starting with great seats. Check out our huge in-stock selection of theater seats and massage chairs. Next up, the entertainment, from dartboards to pool tables and everything in between. Shuffleboard tables, now only $19.99. Add the finishing touch with a bar and bar stools, pub tables, wall art, and more. Man Cave sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Well, family and fun come together.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Your world moves fast. Welcome to Velo, the nicotine product that was made to keep up. Velo is the modern take on nicotine. They're pouches that are made for you, made for right now. Because with no spit, no smoke, and no hassles, there are no limits to where you can go. So whatever your destination is, Velo's ready. Velo, no limits. Visit Velo.com. Website restricted to age 21 plus tobacco consumers. Underage sale prohibited.
It's Love Heating and Air Conditioning. John and Chris, awesome. The best around. So if you have any issues with your heating unit, that's who you need to get a hold of. Plus, we've already had the alarm go off. We've been in the deep freeze for a couple of days, and it's going to be more pronounced as we get closer and closer to the winter weather ahead. That's why you got to make sure your furnace is good to go right now. And because John and Chris are new to the show, got a JMV special for you. $64.95 for a clean and check of your furnace. That is a great price. I mean, I've seen it across the board like $89. No. Love Heating and Air Conditioning. $64.95. Just ask for the JMV special, and they will do you upright. The absolute best. You'll want to use them for anything. Love Heating and Air Conditioning. Online, love-hvac.com today.
Chronic headaches, constant sinus infections, pain and pressure. The fatigue was overwhelming.
That's Karen. She suffered for years with chronic sinus infections. She'd go to urgent care, see her doctor.
And we would do the same thing. Steroids, antibiotics, nasal sprays.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty.
Now my sinus cavities are open. You can breathe on a constant basis and not get sinus infections. I don't get headaches anymore. I don't take naps anymore. I'm like, oh, this is miraculous.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure? Is it difficult to breathe through your nose? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with the Indianapolis Sinus Center. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com, offering competitive odds on game lines, futures, and prop bets. With 50-plus in-game bets on pro football games. Make bets while the game is being played, like who will score next, how will the current drive finish. You will earn rewards for every bet you place with our innovative loyalty program. Sign up now. We'll match your first deposit up to $250 using one of our 12 deposit methods. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Must be 21 or over to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Playable only in Indiana.
Eddie Moore Toyota in Avon, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36. Online, EddieMooreToyota.com. This time of year, great deals are going on. Car, truck, or van, they're going to have you covered. The Sienna minivan, by the way, you and the entire family, the best on the market. And I got to give a quick shout. One of my friends, the original Gare out there, the original Gare, came asking me, as he should, about the 4Runner and the great deals. Ben Mendoza, we got more coming out there for you, because that's the place you want to go for the great deals on the ride that you want at Indiana's best. Ask for Ben Mendoza at Andy Moore Toyota. It's in Avon. Tell him I sent you, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
ATI Physical Therapy is there for when you're injured, in pain, or recovering from surgery. They're there to help you get back to your best with expert hands-on therapy customized for you. They'll schedule your first appointment in 24 to 48 hours, plus they have early and late hours to meet your needs. With 58 Indiana locations, visit ATIPT.com or call 855-MY-ATI-PT to find an ATI near you. Returning to better health is a big deal, so look no further. ATI Physical Therapy, here for you.
Stop in Portillo's today and get obsessed with delicious Chicago-style hot dogs, homemade Italian beef sandwiches, chocolate cake, and so much more in Indianapolis, Fishers, and Avon. Find out for yourself. Portillo's. Get to know us. Get to love us. Get obsessed.
Chewy is hiring. Wages range from $13.25 to $15.75 per hour. Stop by for daily walk-in hiring events Monday through Friday at 1974 Innovation Boulevard in Clayton. Or text Chewy Indy to 97211 to apply.
It is the best part of your game day experience. BullseyeEventGroup.com. Titans and the Colts. Get your Colts VIP tailgate passes right now. It is the absolute best. All you can eat, all you can drink. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Look at all those ding-dongs.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Shout out to the OG out there. The original Gary Harris. Yeah, I saw Dane 5. I was rolling up Meridian. I don't have any idea why I saw Dane 5 rolling up Meridian, but I honked at it, but not even a damn hand gesture of any kind. Nothing. Zero. Come on, 5. There was a point where, I was the one out there saying, hire 5 for the IU basketball job, and not even a hand gesture. Nothing. Zero. I was on the hire 5 wagon. I don't know who made these T-shirts, and I'm locked in with my guys at the shop in Broad Ripple, right? But whoever made these keg stand shirts that Quentin Nelson is wearing in this picture right here, that's sweeping the internet right now, chug, chug, chug. God, I love a good keg stand. Love a great keg stand. JMV, I love Q, you know that, but if it's a keg stand on Busch Light, I'm putting my money on. Oh, listen, that's what we did back in the day in Terre Haute, early 90s, Busch Light draft. I was like, that was the, back then, champagne of beers for us, Busch Light draft. All right, quick one. We'll come back. Rakestraw on the other side. Me, you on the other side, too. Black Crowes tickets. I want to get your thoughts on T.Y. Elton, who ultimately you think is going to make this decision, and who's going to be the bigger loss if T.Y. doesn't play in Houston on Thursday, T.Y. or Marlon Mack. How big of a deal without Marlon Mack will this be? We shall discuss that and more on the other side. Greg Rakestraw, the Colts post-game show host, joins us next.
It doesn't get much more festive than the Twin Peaks Lodge. Book with us and add some scratch food, booze, and scenic views to your holiday party. Contact Twin Peaks today and book it.
The Big Ten Football Championship Game weekend in downtown Indy is December 6th and 7th. Big Ten Fan Fest presented by Dr. Pepper is Friday and Saturday at the Indiana Convention Center, and it's free with a championship game ticket or with a military ID. Not going to the game? Well, no problem. Tickets will be sold at the door. Plus, the free Meyer Tailgater Party on Georgia Street starts Saturday morning at 10 and runs until kickoff at 8. Food trucks, live music, and the world-famous St. Elmo's Shrimp Cocktail Eating Contest are waiting for you. For more info on all the Big Ten Football Championship Game weekend events, visit big10.org/FCG.
Hey, John here for Heaven Hill Distillery. Right on. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots. It's a little different this week, coming at you on a Wednesday, and we're going to be live up in Anderson, Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson. And you know what? You don't even have to take part in our picks with us. You can just show up, and we'll slide across the bar a nice liquid for you at your request. That's what Brent Halverson does. Brent Halverson, myself, our week 12 Larceny Locks and Luna Azul Tequila Shots. Live from Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson tomorrow. Be there with us at 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 FM The Fan.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Vuse Alto is a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Simple to use, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Our best vapor yet at our best price ever. 99 cents plus tax at participating retailers. 99-cent offer applies to Alto device. Pod sold separately. Underage sale prohibited.
Hey, it's Rob Belushi from the Bill Estes Ford family in Brownsburg.
Hey, Rob, what are you packing for?
Hey, Brian, with Thanksgiving coming up, I thought I'd take a vacation.
Does that mean I get to take over as spokesperson?
Good idea. Let's practice first.
Stop by the Bill Estes Ford takeover sale. Take over the payments on select pre-owned vehicles for as low as $88 a month.
Try with more energy, like this. Take over payments on pre-owned vehicles for as low as $88 a month.
Take over payments for $88 a month.
Good start. Now tell them about $39 down and do it all in one breath.
The Bill Estes takeover sale is going on now. Take over payments on pre-owned vehicles as low as $88 a month, with down payments as low as $39. We have extra inventory.
Now I gotta cancel my vacation, Brian. Save me a seat at your house this Thanksgiving. The Bill Estes Ford takeover sale is going on now. Takeover payments on pre-owned vehicles as low as $88 a month with down payments as low as $39. We have extra inventory on our lot, but it will move fast.
Wow, that's why my wife says not to compare myself to you.
She's a smart lady, Brian.
What would you do with the money if you didn't have to pay your house payment for 2 months, especially around the holidays?
That's right, no house payment for 2 months. This is James Hawkins at Golden Oak Lending. Don't let money problems spoil your holidays. You can use the increased value of your home to pay off bills or get cash out.
Why pay 18% credit card interest when Golden Oak's mortgage rates are in the 2s?
If it sounds complicated, it's not. Just call us. We're here in town. We do all the work. The call is free, and we'll tell you in about 10 minutes if you qualify. You have nothing to lose, and we want to talk to you.
Refinance to a low rate, get cash out, and put 2 months of house payments in your pocket. Visit GoldenOakLending.com or call 317-706-GOLD. 706-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, regulated by the Indiana Department of Financial Institutions.
On cold, snowy days, you just want to stay in the comfort of your home until your furnace breaks. Hi, I'm Corey Kreitzberger, General Manager at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. For same-day repairs that will keep you warm and cozy, trust the highly trained technicians at 1 Hour. Call 855-1-HOUR today and get $51 off any repair. That's 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. License 8001-0668.
Prepaid wireless, like holiday gifts, should never be just okay. Like getting monogram towels for a present that aren't your initials, but your girlfriend's, ex-boyfriend's. AT&T Prepaid is making gift-giving more than just okay. For a limited time, learn how to get AT&T Prepaid with unlimited data for $45 per month. AT&T may slow data speeds when the network is busy. Visit att.com/prepaid deals for offer details.
Requires activation and payment on $65 per month plan and auto-pay sign-up at sale. Other fees, charges, and restrictions apply.
The Butler basketball season is here, which means Hinkle Fieldhouse is buzzing. With tons of home games in November, it's time to get to Hinkle. Seats start at just $10 for select games. Visit the Hinkle ticket office weekdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the store is always open online at butlersports.com/buy tickets. Butler basketball. Get your tickets. Get to Hinkle. Get loud. Go Dogs. Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires, only at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis. Your Colts tickets are waiting. Be there for the whiteout game against our division rivals, the Titans. The first 50,000 fans receive a Colts flag. Get your tickets today at Colts.com/tickets. The Ride with JMV.
JMV does not suck at all.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
If you wanna ride.
Welcome back. I am John. Thank you for joining us. Kyle's over there. I'm John, hour number 2 of this show. Going to get your calls coming up in a second, too. Got Stephen Holder coming up from The Athletic, 5 o'clock. I got a lot of Colts stuff. Going to squeeze this in because the Colts play coming up on Thursday night down in Houston as a part of Thursday Night Football, week number 12. And on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, Greg Rakestraw, Colts post-game show host, our normal Tuesday guest. I thought about asking you this on Sunday as I was watching it, and I don't know anything about it. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't care, but I'm just kind of curious because I know you keep track of this stuff. It was Portugal and Luxembourg playing in the European qualifier, and I swear to you, they looked like they're playing in the middle of a prison in a cow field. It looked so terrible. Why are the fields so bad in this?
Was it in Luxembourg? Was it perhaps the best field they had in Luxembourg?
It looked like it was.
Was it in Portugal?
It looked like it was at like Wabash Valley Correctional Facility. That's what it looked like. Not that I would know what that looks like inside, but yes, exactly.
You are now the second person to bring up the Portugal-Luxembourg match to me because on Sunday, since there was no Premier League action, because Portland and Luxembourg were playing in the European qualifiers, it was an international break. Like, for example, I think the U.S. is playing in Cuba tonight, and then, like, the Premier League schedule resumes. All the other major leagues around the world, they resume their schedules over the course of the weekend. And so Chris Woodley brought me in the press box, and he was watching Portugal and Luxembourg. I am not that dedicated. I'm not even sure. I might watch some of the U.S. men's national team this evening. Those matches aren't exactly overly important to me. But the big soccer news of the day is that Spurs and their manager, Mauricio Pochettino, have parted ways, which is a very big deal in England. So I'm sorry I can't answer why that they were playing at the training ground for the prison guard team in the longest yard. I don't have an answer for that, for you, because I was paying attention to other things in soccer. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell you what, the field the Mean Machine played on in '74 looked better than that one they were playing on Sunday. I couldn't believe it. And Ronaldo, what's his name, Cristiano Ronaldo, he was all pissed off about it too.
Well, I'm sure the match was in Luxembourg, and I'm sure that match will never happen again.
Probably not. I'm going to ask you this. We're regarding T.Y. Hilton playing on Thursday. Who do you think is going to have the ultimate call here? Medical staff, Frank Reich, Chris Ballard, or T.Y.?
I would assume that the medical staff will go first, and then it will be the final decision of Frank Reich and Chris Ballard along with T.Y. Hilton. The phraseology that T.Y. used today was checking off all the boxes. And then when he was asked further about that, he said, well, I feel like I got a couple of more to go. And basically he said it was the medical staff and then Frank and Chris. So my guess would be if the medical staff clears him, then Frank and Chris and T.Y. will sit down and say, okay, are you ready to go? And if T.Y. says yes, then he'll have their blessing and he'll play on Thursday.
If T.Y. plays, can he still be coming off this injury and maybe not being 100%? Can he be as effective and in the dome of the Texans as we have seen him in the past?
Absolutely. Just him being out there, I think, stretches the defense, makes life easier for other receivers. If I remember right, T.Y., I don't think T.Y. was 100% against the Chiefs in Week 5 because we had talked about, hey, just go ahead and sit out one more week. Then you get the bye week. Then you'll be ready to go. I think he had 4 catches that night. But just his ability to be out there meant a difference for everybody else. Was talking about this with Big Joe earlier. I know that there was the 31-yard screen completion to Jonathan Williams on the 3rd and 19. I'm not sure that Jacoby Brissett completed a pass that was attempted to be longer than 20 yards in the game on Sunday. So they've got to find a way to take the top off the defense. And just having T.Y. out there, even if he's not at 100%, as long as he's medically cleared, that has a positive impact on this team.
The post-game show host is Greg Rakestraw. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. All right, T.Y. Hilton, a big deal. Where would you rank the deal of not having Marlon Mack? And considering Jonathan Williams with that spark on Sunday, but back-to-back difficult, Jordan Wilkins coming off of injury, and that running back depth chart in general, which one is the largest omission if they both turn out to be out on Thursday night?
T.Y., just because I think for as good as Marlon Mack is, you saw what Williams could do. You see how big of a factor that offensive line is. I do think Wilkins will play. I think you'd see 10, 15 touches for Williams, 10, 15 touches for Hines, maybe 5 to 10 touches, for Jordan Wilkins in that game. And so the backs 2, 3, and 4 are closer to Marlon Mack than receivers 2, 3, and 4 are to T.Y. Hilton. So that's not to diminish Marlon Mack at all. It's just I think there's greater depth right now at the running back position.
It's Greg Rakestraw. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Give me this offense and what you think the philosophy is going to be now that you get this Texans group without T.J. Watt. And we knew what an influence he was. I mean, he is every week, but certainly was in that first meeting and that Colts win here. But how do the Colts approach it offensively when he's not a part of the game plan?
In theory, you would go, well, it makes it easier to pass. Well, they passed the ball pretty damn well, even with Watt being such a difference maker in week number 7. What they could not do is run the football against the Houston Texans. And so you can point to that game as probably the best game Jacoby Brissett has had so far this season. So, frankly, it doesn't make sense knowing how much of a disruptive force J.J. Watt can be, and J.J. Watt was in that game. Yeah, it was one of Jacoby's best efforts of the season. So even with the passing success that they had in Week 7 against the Texans, I still think they will try to establish that run game, see if they can carry that momentum from the Jacksonville game. And don't forget, the Colts absolutely ran it down the throats of the Houston Texans last year in the playoff game. I think it was 200 yards exactly. I think Marlon was just shy of 150 in that game. They will try to be run dominant, and then if that gets taken away, then you open things up with the passing game.
Did Jonathan Williams have a Zach Crockett type of moment, or is there more to come, you think?
I certainly hope there's more to come, and I think because of the Marlon Mack injury, there is going to be that opportunity. Again, I don't think that it will be one guy getting 25 touches unless Williams goes off again at the start of the game. You just keep feeding him and see how well you can do. And so the answer is I hope not, because I hope that Williams has more in the tank. But, yes, that is a wonderful 24-year-old reference to make. Job well done pulling one from the archives.
Jeez, I thought I was doing well. If that's too old too. I mean, normally I go all the way back to like 1985. No. I thought I was doing a favor to everybody here.
No. That was not me complaining. That was me complimenting.
Oh,
job well
okay.
done. That's what I'm saying. No, that was not negative or derogatory. Any job well said. I mean, you go 24 years back. That's pretty good.
Greg Rakestraw, he's got the post-game show with Barry Krause coming up. It's going to be a late one on Thursday night with his Week 12 starter kit with the Colts and the Texans in the AFC South down in Houston. All right, Kevin Bowen tweeted this out. Hilton did not participate. That's his listing, second consecutive day. We know yesterday was really nothing, right? But T.Y. Hilton, Eric Ebron, Marlon Mack, we know Taylor, Willard. We know the Mack situation. I think we know Willis' situation too. Yassine. Give me your thoughts on Eric Ebron. Is there going to be anything there? And Pierre Desir was listed as limited again today. What do you think about his chances?
Well, I was out there, and again, it was a glorified walkthrough, so there were no pads. There were not even any helmets in today's session, and it was scheduled to last about 80 to 85 minutes. And so in the portion that we were able to see, Rock Ya-Sin was not out there. Shaquille Taylor was there, but was not really kind of working out. I didn't catch Ebron, and so I kind of shrugged my shoulders on Ebron. It's great to have him, especially if there's no T.Y. But again, knowing you've got Jack Doyle, knowing you've got Mo Ali Cox, knowing you've got Nyheim Hines out of the backfield, I think they can survive without Eric Ebron. The one thing I would say is this, and T.Y. spoke to the media today and basically said, I don't have to practice to play in the game. And so for other people, you can be concerned when you don't see them these last couple of days. T.Y. is the one dude that you go, you know what? He's the exception to the rule. If he says he's good to go Thursday, if the medical staff clears him on Thursday, then I think he'll be out there Thursday night.
Greg, we haven't really talked about this a lot either, and maybe we should give that a little bit more focus and a little bit more love. This defensive run that we have seen recently from the Colts, it has been as good as when the last time you felt this good about the defense over the course of 3 weeks or so?
Probably towards the end of last year. You know, there's obviously the shutout performance against the Cowboys, even though they lost in Jacksonville, but that was on 2 field goals, I think, last year. So maybe we are starting to see this round into form where this team defensively really hits high gear in November and December. It'd be nice to see them do that in September and October, but clearly better late than never. And I will again use Frank Reich's words from today where he goes, our defense is legit. And I would tend to agree with that given how they perform. Now, they frankly are going to face a better team in the Houston Texans than they did in the Jacksonville Jaguars with better weapons in terms of Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. It's the complete opposite. Obviously, everything on Sunday shut down the run. Now the focus is try to contain big plays from Watson and Hopkins. But again, I think this defense can be up to the task because they are playing really well right now.
The level of big game this is for IU football against number 15 Michigan on Saturday afternoon.
It's a big game. It's a bigger opportunity. Again, the hay is already in the barn. Indiana will have a winning season. Indiana will play in a bowl game. They have not had a winning season since 2007. They have not played in a bowl game the last 3 years. For as wonderful as a win would be against Michigan, I could probably argue with you that winning a bowl game, I think for the first time since 1991, Baylor in the Copper Bowl, I believe, would be even a bigger deal. Well, maybe it's not bigger than Michigan, but I think it is a very big deal, and I think it's an attainable goal for this football team, depending on what bowl game they're playing in. This is an opportunity. I do think this is a game they can win, and I do think they will catch Michigan looking ahead at Ohio State. So, big game, not necessarily, because even if they lose it, it's going to be a good season for Indiana. But if they win it, potentially it is a program-changing moment. How about that?
All right, Greg. According to, I think, the All-State Playoff Predictor, as far as the College Football Committee and the top 4 is concerned, Ohio State, number 1. And this is just a predictor, not the official as of this moment numbers, but Ohio State's number 1. Penn State, according to the predictor, is number 6. They meet in Columbus on Saturday afternoon at noon. Ohio State, 18-point favorites. Would you take the Buckeyes or the Nittany Lions if you had some cash on the line?
18 points is tempting.
Big, fat number, brother.
Right. But again, let's look at the transitive property. Look at how Ohio State put it to Indiana earlier this season. Look at the opportunities Indiana State had and to some degree pissed away in Happy Valley and still had a chance to win that game late on Saturday. And I realize, 2 months can make a big difference in terms of how a team is playing, mental state, whatever the case may be. But I do think there is that big of a gap between, say, Ohio State, LSU, and maybe Clemson, and then almost everybody else, even the teams that are like Penn State, rated 6th, or at least considered to be top 10 teams in the country. 18 is a big number. I think I'd take Penn State getting those points. But, if you drop that to, under 2 touchdowns, maybe I take Ohio State. So it shows you how good of a team I think Ohio State is and how good Vegas thinks they are too.
Hey, Greg, I'm kind of curious how you think about this as well. For those IU fans that are still on the fence or not all in with Tom Allen as their football coach, does a call like the 4th down call and the timeout and then that call, does that kind of serve as a reason for some why they're not all in on him as their coach right now?
Sure, to some degree, but again, you can't argue with results. And even if you say, hey, those are all teams that IU is supposed to beat, fine. When was the last time Indiana beat teams they were supposed to beat? I mean, we have talked about this formula for years. Win your 3 non-conference games. Beat the other 2 back-end teams that you're going to play. Yes, you've been given a gift with the fact that Northwestern is as bad as they've probably been in the last 20 to 25 years. I get that, and I understand it. But so many Indiana teams in the past haven't even been able to do that. So the fact that he has at least gotten them to this point, and look at their last 2 losses, at Michigan State and at Penn State, games where Indiana gave themselves multiple chances to win. Yes, you need to take that next step to win one of those games on the road. But I think the wins that Indiana's had so far this year, I think that is a next step for this program, to simply beat the teams that you are better than talent-wise. And Indiana has done that 7 times this year. So could it be better? Yes. Is there room for improvement? Yes. And maybe that should be the most encouraging thing. Indiana's sitting on 7 wins. Maybe they could have 1 or 2 more. I mean, that, again, a sign of the progress this program has made. And give Kevin Wilson credit. He got it to a certain point, and now I think Tom Allen has elevated it past that point too.
It's Greg Rakestraw on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Do you think the punishment for Southport's basketball program, do you think that is the punishment that's deserved here? Do you think it's justified?
It was a strong punishment, but it was a pretty egregious act to pay for a young man's tuition to go to school there is not good. It's far from it. And the fact that there was a 2-game suspension handed down by Perry Township Schools, I thought was laughable. So I feel bad for those seniors, but I thought that was a pretty egregious mistake that was made by the head coach.
Should there not be some way, though, that you don't have to penalize these players? Because you're taking away something. I mean, that's their life right here. And they're going to look back on that, and whether you're a senior or a junior or a sophomore or a freshman playing up on the varsity, you don't have a lot of these opportunities. Why is it justified to penalize them for this?
I would say that this is very early in the process. There's going to be a lot of legal wrangling and appeals and, frankly, litigation over this story. So the way it stands right now may not be the way it stands a month, 2 months, 3 months, or even 4 months from now. And so take that for what you will. But it was a terrible mistake that was made by the head coach. And I thought a very minimal penalty that was handed down by the administration there.
Well, listen, that's because they're you know what I feel about the administration there being full of knuckleheads, and the leader is certainly the head knucklehead. So that's unsurprising. The guy that actually had to put the press release out is one of the few people down there that have any brains at all. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I just hate it that these kids are, as of right now, on the hook for this when they shouldn't be.
I understand, and just it's early in the process. There's going to be a lot more conversation in the public forum and behind the scenes about the way this played out.
All right, tell me what game you're doing. Ben Davis, Center Grove. How about this too? The demise of the MIC mid-regular season was a little bit premature in this case, wasn't it?
Well, 3 of the last 4 teams remaining, and again, it's not surprising. It's just kind of the top end of the league, not as dominant as it has been the last few years. And I went back and looked. 2015, Center Grove won the title. They were undefeated. 2017, Ben Davis, undefeated. Last year, Warren Central, undefeated. We did not have that team this year in the MIC, but what you did have was no teams that I thought were terrible in the MIC. The back half of the league was really good, and that's why that group beat up on each other. But what it did was also then prepare those teams for the postseason. Then there's the obvious factor for Center Grove. You get a kid the caliber of Carson Steele back when you get to the regional. That was a complete game changer for Center Grove. And what still floors me about the Center Grove team, having had them early in the year and then had them last week against Warren Central, they are so young at so many positions. And frankly, they're also the team of the ones that I have seen this year that passes the airport test the best. They got some dudes. They have some size on both sides of the ball. So I really think it's a toss-up. And Maryville will not be easy. that Maryville's a good team. I'm not sure how big of a difference there are in those top 4 teams in 6A. If you spin this forward to next year and ask me for a favorite next year, that's an easy answer. Center Grove is my favorite next year. They be my favorite of the final 4 teams left, too.
If Friday and Saturday of next weekend, if it was just a no-holes-barred winner-take-all, would New Pal be the winner?
It would be tough to say anything against them, knowing the fact they beat Center Grove 28-9 in week number 2. Again, Carson Steele did not play in that game. Again, Center Grove is a young team that now has a lot of experience. I think in a one-game scenario, that suits a New Pal much better because they don't have to go through the 9-game grind that Carmel and Center Grove and Ben Davis and any other mixed school have to go through. But when you get it to a one-game scenario, absolutely, New Pal would have a great chance of winning that. Now, let me say this. Again, it is not a guaranteed thing that New Pal wins next week because Valparaiso is really good, too. For example, Maryville, playing at Carmel on Friday night, has 1 loss. That was to Valparaiso. Valparaiso was a 6A semi-state team last year, and because of enrollment, they got dropped down to 5A. They were the school that got dropped to 5A when Snyder got put back in the 6A bracket. So for as good as New Pal is, and as evidenced by what they did against Cathedral last Friday night, they'll get a test from Bloomington South just because Mo Moriarty is the head coach, but they'll get a significant test from Valparaiso in the final because the Vikings are big and physical and really good.
That is Greg Rakestraw. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Give me the over-under on Thursday night into Friday morning. How many times that Big B Krause dozes off during the postgame show?
I load him up with caffeine. He will not headbutt the microphone at any point in time. He may drop an energy level during the 2 o'clock hour of the show, but he'll make it to 2:30.
Did you just say the 2 o'clock hour?
It's a 2 o'clock half hour, yes. We will wrap up at approximately 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. Yes, sir.
Oh, man. You just got to go some old-school sports talk radio, overnight radio from back in the day. Know
Do you think I should ask about Pete Rose's Hall of Fame candidacy during the 2 o'clock hour of the show?
You talk about Bob Knight or something. You talk about that or class basketball. Yeah, I mean, get everybody wired a little bit, right?
If the Colts do their job on Thursday night, I will not need any extra motivation. We tend to on the Thursday night games that are competitive, when the Colts are good as they are now, it is not a problem for us to get phone calls until about 2 or 2:15. Seriously.
What's his name? Scott, what's his name that did the overnight stuff? Like that. Who am I thinking of here?
Farrell on the bench?
Huh?
Scott Farrell, yes.
Oh, Scott Farrell. You get a little Scott Farrell on the bench for us right there. Just start growling at people.
Yeah, you're better Colts game than I traded. I want you drinking. Yeah, absolutely.
I swear to you, I used to drive to Evansville to see Christy when we were dating. And, man, I'd have that dialed in the middle of the night every time, man. Every time.
So. As a person that used to board up that show as an affiliate, believe me, I know it very well. And did or did not you guys work at the same radio station?
Not at the same time. I remember him vividly because I was warming up in 1987, getting ready for a baseball game, and we had B97 on, and Joe Smith at the time, who's been a part of the IU radio network forever and is an icon in this state in broadcasting, he was working at B97, and Scott Farrell, I think, was still at IU, and he was doing sports updates on B97 in the afternoon. And I just remember this because Ed Lynch was a pitcher, the Ed Lynch that went on to be the general manager in Major League Baseball, and Ed Lynch was a pitcher for the Cubs, I think, at the time. The Cubs or the Mets, one of the two, and he just went all early Scott Farrell on him. I mean, just ripped. And, I'm sitting there going, who cares? But clearly he did, and that was like a precursor to what he turned into.
Well, if I think of what equals ratings gold in Bloomington, Indiana, having a take on Ed Lynch is the first thing that immediately comes to mind.
It was big, man. I was just I think I was just waiting for Ice House or, my 1987 classic song, just Cameo to swing back around again. That's what I was waiting on. So,
You were just like, I'm waiting on word up, brother. Enough with Ed Lynch. Get on to it.
All right, Greg, I appreciate you. Again, he's going to be busy coming up this weekend and certainly next. You can catch him on the post-game show after the Colts game on Thursday night. Greg Rakestraw on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
See you, buddy.
He is Greg Rakestraw on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Quick break. We'll come back. Black Crows tickets to give away. You guys want to jump on? You can. Got a lot of insight. Got a lot of opinion here in the inbox at JMV 1070 on Twitter. We'll get to that and get you set for later on tonight, too. Remember, Stephen Holder in a little over 30 minutes. His thoughts on T.Y. Hilton, whether or not he thinks he's going to play on Thursday night. In the injury report, which remains the same, not good, going into yet another must-win, we'll call it, in Houston on Thursday night. This is 93.5 and 107.5 FM The Fan.
Sports Center updates on The Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires, only at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
The Houston Texans have opened up as an early favorite against the Indianapolis Colts. We got to talk about it. My name is Jason Hammer. Join myself and sportsbook operator for Bet Indiana, Frank Ignatius, this Wednesday night from 8 until 9 p.m. for Bet Indiana. We'll preview the big divisional showdown, break down all things gaming in the Hoosier State, and maybe, just maybe, give you a few picks. Wednesday, 8 to 9, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
Before Diamond expert Eric Freund joined the team at Diamonds Direct, he was with a competitor and did a little secret shopping.
I wanted to find out why customers were coming over here and buying from here instead of us.
And what did he find?
Far and away lower prices on diamonds for better diamonds.
So like many of his customers, Eric made the switch to Diamonds Direct.
I realized that I was going to continue to lose sales to Diamonds Direct, so I figured I better join them.
Today, Eric is proud to be at Diamonds Direct, where he can offer his customers more than he ever dreamed possible.
Not only do we have the most competitive pricing in the industry, but the whole package that you get with it is incomparable.
And that whole package includes diamonds that are handpicked straight from the diamond cutters, using the highest quality standards with no compromises.
We hand select our diamonds based off of visual beauty, not just based off of paperwork. Our diamond is going to have more brilliance, more fire, more sparkle, and more shine than anybody else's.
Superior quality, unbeatable value, and a world-class experience.
I wanted to be a part of that magic.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hey, John here for FanDuel Sportsbook, officially live in Indiana, so now you can bet on moneyline spreads, parlays, props, right? I mean, it's incredibly fun, and the features they have on this, outstanding. They have promotions daily that they change, that entertains you more, gives you more of a chance to win. I mean, it is a beautiful thing. Plus, FanDuel Sportsbook is offering you a risk-free bet worth up to $500 when you sign up using the promo code JMV. Please do it. The promo code JMV, which means if you lose your first bet, FanDuel will give you a refund in site credit. So if you're looking at a game, how about the 44-point spread with number 1 LSU and Arkansas? Don't forget, utilize that big fat number, and you can bet on the game risk-free. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now. Visit FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Claim your risk-free bet with promo code JMV. That's promo code JMV. First online wager only. Refund issued as site credit. Terms apply. Must be at least 21. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, it's Stan Dockage for Family Leisure. It's the Man Cave sale happening right now. It's time to spoil Dad and give Mom some space. Starting with great seats. Check out our huge in-stock selection of theater seats and massage chairs. Next up, the entertainment from dartboards to pool tables and everything in between. Shuffleboard tables, now only $19.99. Add the finishing touch with a bar and bar stools, pub tables, wall art, and more. Man Cave sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Well, family and fun come together.
So you're looking for a place to eat in Carmel.
I want a steak,
he says, and you say,
hey, why don't we try Anthony's Chop House?
Now, what kind of a place does Anthony's have to be to get you to pass up all the other eating choices? Well, an extraordinary place where the food and the service, not to mention the atmosphere, transport your experience to that of a big city feel. For every $100 holiday gift card purchased, receive a $20 gift card. Anthony's Chop House in Carmel and Anthony'sChopHouse.com.
There's a lot of short-term health insurance out there that never really pays for the important things. Prescription drugs, pre-existing conditions, even preventive and maternity care. That's why so many people are choosing a CareSource Marketplace health plan. Now you can get real coverage with affordable copays, even for urgent care. You can even qualify to save hundreds off premiums and out-of-pocket costs. This is real health insurance you can really afford.
Marketplace plans from CareSource. Enroll by December 15th at caresource.com/marketplace.
Holiday Magic, brought to you by Shane Company.
A ring with a vibrant London blue topaz, because she loves the ocean, and that's where you met.
A natural pearl strand, because she's a natural beauty.
A gold coin pendant, because you wish her the best on her new adventure.
The magic of Shane Company jewelry is that it allows you to capture your story with something that will last forever. Each of these great gifts from our holiday collection is under $500. Our non-commissioned sales team is warm and welcoming. We'll help you find perfect gifts.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane. One of my favorites this year is our stylish diamond bar necklace with a row of 4 hand-matched diamonds for $390. It's elegant and something she can wear every day.
When you spend $400 or more on a gift, you'll receive our Shane Company Forever Link necklace for free while supplies last.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Hey, Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots coming up. Are you guys ready tomorrow? It's going to be fun. We're going to do our pick-em. Brent Holvers is going to join me. Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson is our site tomorrow, and I promise you, going to be a blast. And we always hand out the free beverages if you guys just remember to show up, right? Brent does it. Got our pick-ems, week number 12. Our shots, courtesy of Luna Azul Tequila, and our locks from Larceny Bourbon. It's coming up tomorrow at 3. Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson, 93.5 and 107.5 FM The Fan.
Join us for Franciscan Health's Movember Tailgate Party, Saturday, November 23rd from 11 to 2 at Books and Brews on Shelby Street. Free food, health screenings, prizes, and more.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires, only at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Butler basketball season is here. Seats start at just $10 for select games. Visit the Hinkle Ticket Office weekdays from 10 to 4 or online at butlersports.com/buy tickets.
Join the Fan November 23rd as we celebrate Movember with Franciscan Health. Listen on air and online for tips to stay healthy. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
The Ride with JMV.
Just an average guy with exceptional hair.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back, Greg. Podcast 1075thefan.com. JJ a little bit earlier from Fox Sports Indiana regarding the Pacers last night and whether we're going to see maybe a trend in a positive for Aaron Holiday coming off of that game last night, because that was far removed from that initial night where he not only didn't play well, but he completely fell out of the rotation. Now, he's not going to get the minutes, not going to get the clock once other guys return. But, I mean, if you could count on some of that type of play, and I know he was knocking down shots, and, I mean, hell, that makes everybody feel good. But sharing the basketball, great passing, if you could just bottle that, do something with that, moving forward, count on it as a former first-round pick, that's all right. That is all right. And JJ's podcast, 1075thefan.com, from Doug Thrasher, Southport players take a stand when the numbnut head coach is done with his suspension, stop showing up to practice. Just show up for games, see how the coach and administration handles it. Listen, I give you a great example. I get a tweet. Thank you, Greg Rakestraw, and your openness about Southport of the story. I'm sorry, JMV, I worked there. I'm proud of it. You lost my respect with your thoughts about our township. I know you don't care what I think. No, I actually do care what you think, but I'm going to stand with the kids on this. The kids are the ones that are getting royally screwed and don't deserve it. And that's on the administration there, and that's on the IHSAA. And I hope Greg's right. I hope they do figure something out, but these kids don't deserve not to be playing in sectional. They don't. Hell, I just said yesterday they should have gone and played for Mark James. So, I mean, take it for what it's worth. I mean, you get pissed off about it, and you're right. I don't care, but I will answer your question. I do. I stand with those kids that don't deserve that. And, you know, that's that. And I do know some people there, and there are some serious knuckleheads there, so it's non-surprising. But as far as that's concerned, I stand with the kids. If you don't, if you're going to stand behind some pencil pushers and, some glorified politicians in administration, then so be it. That's your choice, and I completely understand it. Very open right here. I'm not going to be mad at you either. That is completely fine. This from Sean. I'm confused why Southport doesn't just fire the coach and let the kids play. I'm assuming there's probably a lot of negotiations going on in the background because one of the dudes that leads Perry Township is a glorified politician. So I'm sure that there's a lot of study. He's a former right-hand man for Tony Bennett, which really should tell you all you need to know. But I'm sorry. Kids are getting royally hosed right now until that hosing is rectified. And that goes for the IHSAA as well. Until that's rectified, then this is going to be my soapbox stance. Like it, dislike it. It's just the way that it's going to be. JMV, that was a nice tease. By the way, the Colts will be fine without Mack, but not having Hilton is going to hurt. Listen, my point regarding that is this. And I understand what T.Y. Hilton is meant. They got one win without him, and that one win came on Sunday. But the other aspect of it is, too, how is this running back situation going to look? And as Greg mentioned a little bit earlier, remember back in that postseason game how they ran all over Houston. Now, is this going to open up some opportunities without T.Y. Hilton with the passing situation the way that it is? Maybe so. Because, because J.J. Watt isn't playing. T.J. Watt's still playing, by the way. But I think that while I would agree with you on T.Y. Hilton, I think that is a logical question to ask. And I felt terrible for Marlon Mack because production-wise, it wasn't, his best game. But to me, talent-wise, what he showed against a really good defense, that was going to be his best game. To me, the eye-popping maneuverability, the elusiveness, and then the power running, and just a running game in general, to me, that was going to be his best game. And that's a bummer. That part's a bummer. All right, quick break and we'll come back. Trackside's tonight at 7. Kevin and Kevin on that. Again, I'm in Anderson tomorrow, Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson, with our friends from Luna Azul Tequila and Larceny Bourbon. All right, other side, your calls. Stop jumping the gun on the Black Crows tickets because I'll tell you when I tell you. I know you guys, as soon as I get ready to go to break, everybody starts calling in. And I feel you if you get the all circuits are busy. But that's just kind of how we roll around here with a lot of high-volume phone callage. But at some point, it's going to be your chance. And I'll tell you when. Black Crows tickets for the reunion tour coming up in August out at Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center. As always, thank you, Live Nation, for what you do for me and this show. I could not thank you more. Quick one, your calls at 239-1070. Other side next.
This November, join the Fan as we celebrate Movember with Franciscan Health. Listen on air and visit 1075thefan.com for tips to stay healthy. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
Chad and Tyler Peterman for Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey Chad, how about we give our customers a fall break on a new heating system?
Good idea. How about buying a qualifying Bryant Evolution system and take your choice of a $1,000 Peterman gift card or 72 months interest-free financing?
Use that $1,000 for a fall break vacation or take 72 months free financing to pay for your new Bryant system. That's a great offer.
Either way, customers get the peace of mind of heated comfort this winter with their new Bryant Evolution system.
You can take advantage of 72 months interest-free financing to fit your budget or take a $1,000 gift card vacation on Peterman.
The choice is yours when you text Peterman to 41411 and schedule your new system installation.
Call us at 317-859-4270 or text Peterman to 41411 today for your fall break special.
Call Peterman for heating, cooling, and plumbing. Peterman's the way to go.
Hey, it's bullseyeeventgroup.com. It's the Colts VIP tailgate. Yeah, obviously, this is not a home date, so we can't celebrate it coming up on Thursday. But when the Colts get back at Lucas Oil Stadium, you know this. The best game day experience you can have and be a part of is inside the Bullseye Event Center. So get your passes. Be thinking about the future. thinking about your passes to take part in the all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink party extravaganza, the best tailgate ever, Skids, Indiana Jones. I do a radio show. I kind of get you primed. I get you set up, right, for what's to come party-wise. It's all inside the Bullseye Event Center, the Colts VIP Tailgate, presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration with BullseyeEventGroup.com. Get your passes right now, and remember a couple of things, and I'll remind you later. Mid-December, we're going to New Orleans for the Monday Nighter. You can be on that charter flight, too, and be a part of the package. Check with them on that. And a New Year's Eve party. The last 2 years, I've sorted socks on New Year's Eve. This New Year's Eve is going to be different. It's an Oladipo party. It's a major national act, and it's a celebration like no other on New Year's Eve. And I'll let you know all about that and give you a chance to win some passes for that as well. We're going to celebrate and have a great time, all a part of this, the Colts VIP Tailgate. Get your passes right now, BullseyeEventGroup.com.
What would you do with the money if you didn't have to pay your house payment for 2 months, especially around the holidays?
That's right, no house payment for 2 months. This is James Hawkins at Golden Oak Lending. Don't let money problems spoil your holidays. You can use the increased value of your home to pay off bills or get cash out.
Why pay 18% credit card interest when Golden Oak's mortgage rates are in the 2s?
If it sounds complicated, it's not. Just call us. We're here in town, we do all the work, the call is free, and we'll tell you in about 10 minutes if you qualify. You have nothing to lose, and we want to talk to you.
Refinance to a low rate, get cash out, and put 2 months of house payments in your pocket. Visit GoldenOakLending.com or call 317-706-GOLD. 706-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending, cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, regulated by the Indiana Department of Financial Institutions.
The Big Ten Football Championship Game weekend in downtown Indy is December 6th and 7th. Big Ten Fan Fest, presented by Dr. Pepper, is Friday and Saturday at the Indiana Convention Center, and it's free with a championship game ticket or with a military ID. Not going to the game? Well, no problem. Tickets will be sold at the door. Plus, the free Meyer Tailgater Party on Georgia Street starts Saturday morning at 10 and runs until kickoff at 8. Food trucks, live music, and the world-famous St. Elmo's Shrimp Cocktail Eating Contest are waiting for you. For more info on all the Big Ten Football Championship Game weekend events, visit big10.org/FCG.
Warning: this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Vuse Alto is a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Simple to use, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Our best vapor yet at our best price ever, 99 cents, plus tax at participating retailers. 99-cent offer applies to Alto device. Pods sold separately. Underage sale prohibited.
If you're looking for a dependable pre-owned commercial work truck, one name says it all. Indy Trucks at 96th and Keystone or IndyTrucks.com. Box trucks, cargo vans, flatbeds. If it's a work truck you need, you'll find it at Indy Trucks. Plus, they're inspected, certified, and come with a 3,000-mile, 3-year repair warranty. Easy to get to and easy to work with at Indy Trucks at 96th and Keystone or IndyTrucks.com. Indy Trucks, we'll be looking for you.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's Big Joe. Right now, for every window you buy, you get the next one free. No limits and 0% financing for 36 months. Call 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's JMV, and don't miss the laughs at Helium Comedy Club as Andrew Santino takes the stage this Thursday through Saturday. You know Andrew from his roles in I'm Dying Up Here, Disaster Artist, right? As well as the appearances within the Joe Rogan Experience. And coming soon, Steve Trevino, Netflix Relatable, Greg Fitzsimmons from the Howard Stern Show. It's Helium Comedy Club. It is a blast downtown at the corner of Georgia and Meridian, Circle Center Mall. For more info on upcoming shows, visit heliumcomedy.com. That's heliumcomedy.com. Helium Comedy Club. Eat, drink, and be entertained.
This is Big Joe, and I want you to join me at the 4th Annual Movember Tailgate Party presented by Franciscan Health. We'll be at Books and Brews on Shelby Street Saturday, November 23rd from 11 to 2. Watch the pre-games with us and eat free food. You'll also have a chance to win Colts, Pacers, IU, and Butler tickets from the Fan, and you'll receive free health screenings from Franciscan Health. And it gets even better. The first 100 men to participate in the health screenings will receive an empty growler and a gift card to fill it up. For event details, visit franciscanhealth.org/MovemberIndy.
Turn to the experts at Howald Heating and Carrier for all your heating needs. Howald Heating, Air, and Plumbing, where coming home never felt so good. Online at howaldheatingandair.com.
The Hoosiers host the Michigan Wolverines. Saturday at 2:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Bullish Brent's hanging and banging with you until the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up, we have artists such as Living Color and the Fine Young Cannibals right now. Here's Roxette, The Look, 89.9 WROL.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Did I really just see this? The latest JMV Sucks? Did you see this creation from the shop in Broad Ripple and Carmel? Oh, man, this is great. We're going to be on the 27th. We're going to be at Brothers in Broad Ripple, right? And we are going to be giving donations to a military family. And the shop, through those donations, are going to have you or let you. These JMV Sucks holiday edition shirts are absolutely outstanding. Gosh, great. That is well done. Well done. And this is, we do this every year or two, a donation to a military family, which I think is awesome. And the guys at the shop in Carmel and in Broad Ripple are the absolute best. That is outstanding. Thank you. I just retweeted that if you guys want to check it out. Hey, JMV, 100% agree with your stance on the Southport situation. Why punish the students for an act of one person? And one kid's ruled ineligible. And listen, this is not just all, Perry Town. This is IHSAA. I hope they come to a conclusion, but I stand with the kids on this. It's utterly ridiculous that they have to miss a sectional because of this. JMV, I stand with the kids always. It's my job, but to trash the school isn't fair. Listen, I 100%, as you guys know here, with my record, stand behind the teachers of the state of Indiana. 100%. Unwavering always. But as I always tell you, there are some administrators out there that stink. All right? That is just the way that it is. They stink. I'm sure there's some teachers that stink too. There's some administrators that stink. And this is the case. And I'm going to change my opinion. I'm not trying to change yours. And I absolutely recognize the IHSAA isn't perfect. I mean, you got to be kidding me. There's got to be some alternative in all of this. And I'm sure maybe they're trying to come up with an agreement. But that's the way that it is. Hey, listen, there's never one time, I know everybody knows this of me, I completely had the backs of teachers, always. I'm not a big administrator guy. At times, some of them I know, but some of them are just, some of them suck. It's the way that it is. So, if that's your choice, that's your choice. Which, by the way, too, thanks for thinking about this. Thanks for asking me. My daughter, Lainey, got a tooth knocked out and it's funny. In fourth grade basketball, it's hilarious, right? So I'm over at Brownsburg, and it's a screen. It's an illegal screen, and that's okay. It happens. And, Lainey gets her tooth knocked out, and you guys are asking about it, and that's great. And I don't have anything against the folks in Brownsburg, but I don't know who in the hell cut loose this Nimrod from Pike High School that's the athletic director. This red ass. This red ass telling me that I need to be arrested or something. What a jackass. You guys at Pike stand up for that? Jesus. This is crazy. I forget what his name is, too. Everybody in Brownsburg's been telling me, but holy hell. My daughter lost a tooth, which I thought was awesome. I thought she looked badass. I said, I think you look badass. But, man, this red ass that came out of the bleachers at me like an idiot with no affiliation with Brownsburg whatsoever other than his daughter plays on a team. You got to be kidding me. Man, I'm telling you, Brownsburg, I'm not going to go back over there again. Hell, I wasn't even paying attention. I was listening to the post-game show on my headphones. This Nimrod comes at me. Crazy. So like I said, I mean, there's some teachers I'm sure that aren't great, but there's some administrators that aren't either. And to be fair, I will always stand with the kids, and I will always stand with our educators, and I'll always stand with our teachers. That's just me. And if you don't like it, you'll have to lump it. See this guy. What are you going to arrest me for, Nimrod? Wait a minute. Where can I go? I don't have my keys. They're in there. Wait a minute. Let me go ahead and leave. I'll leave, and my 9-year-old with no tooth can, stand in there. All right, great. Jesus. I'm sure I'll have to see this guy about 9,000 times now, too. Classic. But no, for those of you that know me, you know how pro teacher I am. And I always have been and always will be. With my work with Teachers Treasures, that will never stop and has been going on for 5+ years now because I know where you guys are. I know what took place today. I absolutely respect that. I back you on anything because I know what you go through. Always. Some administrators, not so much. It's the way that it is. Quick one, we'll come back. Top of the hour, Stephen Holder, The Athletic. We'll talk about the Colts, what he thinks about T.Y. Hilton's opportunity to play. Should JMV have been arrested at his 4th grade girls game on Sunday? There's a good Connecticut water question of the day right there. Why is the Pike AD trying to have him arrested? Back with you next.
24 hours a day.
Let's start right there.
7 days a week.
Sounds like we got ourselves a deal here.
The Fan's Colts insider, Kevin Bowen, brings you Indy's best, latest, and greatest team updates. Free access to your favorite team, your favorite players, and your favorite multimedia journalist.
Jacoby Brissett's backup until you make that veteran QB move.
Kevin Bowen. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. And online at 1075thefan.com.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires. Only at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
This Wednesday, be there live as AEW Dynamite makes their Indianapolis debut at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum.
Can you believe this?
See AEW World Champion Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle, Cody, John Moxley, Kenny Omega, the AEW Tag Team Champions SCU, the AEW Women's Champion Rio, and many more.
They're chanting what they like, what they want, what they needed.
AEW Dynamite is coming to the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Tickets are on sale now at AEWTix.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we have loans for about everyone. We do refinances where you can pull cash out and pay off all your credit cards. We do purchase loans and can put you in your new dream home in as little as 14 days. We have loans that require no down payment. And at thehomeloanexpert.com, you're going to get a lower rate and customer service that no one can match. The 5-minute loan approval only available at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
I got some really good news for you. And I'm always giving you the good news, especially on the deals going on, especially as we approach the holiday season. And here's what's happening at Diamonds Direct coming up too. I mean, some of the greatest deals you will ever, and I mean ever, see coming up here. 3 years, 0 interest, right? So many different things you can buy and a selection that is absolutely unmatched. So I know this because I screwed up the engagement and I kind of have to double back and make up for it all the time because once you screw that up, you have to wear it forever. And I've had to wear this forever. But what I know as we approach Christmas time is I know that I always go to Diamonds Direct and say, Christy, my wife, This is to make up for my knuckleheadery of the past. And it always works. It really does, especially with the great deals you're getting right now moving into the holiday season at Diamonds Direct. 3 years, 0 interest. I'm telling you, you're going to love it, and so shall we. She will. So let's absolutely love it. Diamonds Direct, 3 years, 0 interest, and it's going to take you up until the holiday season. Fellas, that's your target right there, especially if you're thinking about popping the question. Maybe during the holiday season, maybe early next year. This is the place. Diamonds Direct with special Christmas hours. Check them online or Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Welcome to Velo, the modern take on nicotine. They're hassle-free nicotine pouches that are leaving the chargers, smoke, and mess in the rear view. So whether you're in the zone at the office, with your crew at the bar, or kicking back at 38,000 feet, Velo's ready. Go to Velo.com to find your retailer. Velo, no limits. Website restricted to age 21 plus tobacco consumers. Underage sale prohibited.
ATI Physical Therapy is there for when you're injured, in pain, or recovering from surgery. They're there to help you get back to your best with expert hands-on therapy customized for you. They'll schedule your first appointment in 24 to 48 hours, plus they have early and late hours to meet your needs. With 58 Indiana locations, visit ATIPT.com or call 855-MY-ATI-PT to find an ATI near you. Returning to better health is a big deal, so look no further. ATI Physical Therapy, here for you.
Hey, John here for Connecticut Water. It's the best. Anybody out there not have Connecticut? Anybody out there feel as if your water is not as good as it should be? And if you don't have Connecticut, that's probably most of you. And here's a reason. Joe, John, and Dennis give you now the opportunity to get a Connecticut system and the best water possible. You ready? You buy the Premier Series water softener, and they give you the K5 in-home drinking water station absolutely free. I mean, it is the best deal. It's a game changer. It's a great gift. I mean, it really is a great gift. And Joe, John, and Dennis just made it easy. The Premier Series water softener, you buy it, and the in-home K5 drinking water station's absolutely free with my friends at Connecticut, Northeast Side, Castleton, South Side. That's US 31 and Southport Road, and online, ConnecticutIndy.com today.
Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com, offering competitive odds on game lines, futures, and prop bets. With 50-plus in-game bets on pro football games. Make bets while the game is being played, like who will score next, how will the current drive finish. You will earn rewards for every bet you place with our innovative loyalty program. Sign up now. We'll match your first deposit up to $250 using one of our 12 deposit methods. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Must be 21 or over to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Playable only in Indiana.
There's a lot of short-term health insurance out there that never really pays for the important things. Prescription drugs, pre-existing conditions, even preventive and maternity care. That's why so many people are choosing a CareSource Marketplace health plan. Now you can get real coverage with affordable copays, even for urgent care. You can even qualify to save hundreds off premiums and out-of-pocket costs. This is real health insurance you can really afford.
Marketplace plans from CareSource. Enroll by December 15th at caresource.com/marketplace.
Come share Coke at the Colts Ultimate Tailgate Party next Saturday from 11 to 1 at the Meijer in Greenwood, presented by Meijer and Coca-Cola. Come meet Colts alumni player Mike Pryor, Mascot Blue, and the cheerleaders.
Listen every week during Colts season for the Beef Up Front Report with Big Joe Stasiak, brought to you by Anthony's Chop House in Carmel, at Maine and the Monon.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Hey, join us tomorrow. I'll still be celebrating victory over the deep state, as I have my old Twitter account at Dan Dockage back. We're going to talk a lot of Colts and maybe a little college football.
The Ride with JMV.
I want you out in front of the school with her. I'd like to have a few words with you, by God.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. 5 o'clock hour. We got Black Crowes tickets to give away a little bit later on. Their reunion, the Robinson brothers got back together. Going to make some cash. How long? The Motley Crue never touring again lasted for what, 2 years? Did they tour this year? They're back now. They're going to tour with Def Leppard and Poison. Come on. As long as these dudes can walk out there, and somebody's going to paddle it, I would. I would. You think these guys can still rock better than some of these rock bands that are coming out right now? I know that I sound like the old fart here, and it's accurate, but yeah, I'd go. I'd be all in on Motley Crue and Poison and Def Leppard right there. But that's unsurprising. I don't know if it's going to be unsurprising or surprising. We'll ask our next guests from The Athletic, Stephen Holder on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So what's your thought on T.Y. Hilton, his participation or lack thereof on Thursday night in Houston?
I think there's a real chance. I'm just telling you, I really think there's a chance. I mean, I was told recently that T.Y. had been all over Frank Reich's ass trying to get him, trying to loosen up, let him get out there and practice and give it a go. So, and now we're talking about before this week. So I don't think he's that far away, and I think there's really a legitimate, fluid conversation happening right now, and it will ultimately be up to Frank Reich and others. But T.Y., I tell you, T.Y. feels pretty strongly he can go. And here's the thing: if it's me, if the medical people tell me, it ain't up to me, but if the medical people tell me he is not at any real risk for further injuring that calf, because that's the key question, is he at risk of some further damage? If he isn't, I play that sucker so fast. I'm putting him out there. This game is huge. It gives you such an advantage if they win this game. So I don't think you can overemphasize how big this game is, and I don't think you can also overemphasize how big it would be to have T.Y. Hilton. So I think there's a real chance, and I think that if there wasn't a chance, I don't think they'd even be messing with this, because they got 10 days off after this game. The sensible thing to do would be to rest him if you had any question or anything like that. But that's why I think this is legitimate. They're really trying to take this right up to game day.
You kind of answered this a little bit, but I'll ask you the question that I did dive into. I actually asked this on Sunday, too. The former players, Joe Stasiak and Joe Wright, suggest they think it's going to be up to T.Y. It's going to be his final decision. But is it Chris, is it Frank, is it the medical staff, or is it T.Y. that you think ultimately will make that call?
I think he's heavily involved. I think that Frank Reich heavily defers to T.Y. Hilton. And, Frank has kind of said that. He said, look, I defer to T.Y., et cetera. I mean, yeah, he does. He takes his cues from T.Y. Hilton. Ultimately, the coach makes the decision, but I think he's basing that decision based on a mutual trust with T.Y. Hilton, and listening to him and knowing that T.Y. understands his body. And so then at the same time, we've seen a situation very recently, right, where Jacoby Brissett was overruled by Frank Reich. And he said, no, we're not playing you. I know you want to play, but no. And that was a decision that Frank Reich made based on what he thought was just sort of a limited mobility issue with Jacoby. And, so I do think it's a collaborative decision. There's no question. But I think with T.Y. Hilton, because of who he is, because he has established a trust with that medical staff and with Frank Reich, that he has a little more latitude than most players when it comes to having a role in the decision.
It's Stephen Holder, The Athletic, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. How big of a loss is Marlon Mack for this game? And can they find, especially with Jonathan Williams, and I'm assuming the return of Jordan Wilkins, can they find any semblance of a running game without him? What's your expectation?
Well, look, I'm not going to pretend that I can predict that Jonathan Williams will have that kind of performance again. I don't know. I have no idea. I have nothing to base that on, right? So let's just be honest about that. But I do think that it's definitely a loss not having Marlon Mack. It perhaps impacts your play action. But really, you're going to win this game by throwing the football. That's how they won the last time against Houston. They won it through the air. They're not bad against the run, but clearly losing J.J. Watt hurts them there. So I do think they're more vulnerable against the run. But really, as I said, they are a team that has been susceptible to the deep and intermediate balls, and they have given up quite a few big plays. And they're beat up now, too. They had some issues on Sunday with injuries on the back end of their defense. So they have their own injury issues here as well. It's not just the Colts. So I do think that the Marlon Mack injury hurts, but I think this is probably a good matchup for the Colts to win without having their best day on the ground.
Yeah, I agree. What's the plan of attack without J.J. Watt compared to what it was? J.J. Watt went crazy, and he goes crazy against most guys, but certainly went crazy against Glowinski. Was a part of that when they first met and the Colts won here. But will things be a little bit different offensively as far as the philosophy is concerned with Watt not participating?
Oh, I think so. I mean, they had to max protect often in that first meeting. If you go back at those times when J.J. Watt was lined up on the edge, they kept the tight end over there next to Braden Smith. Or in some cases, they had both tight ends. They had Jack Doyle in some cases, and some cases Jack Doyle and Mo Alley Cox. And that ties up your passing game. That limits the amount of opportunities you could get those tight ends out into passing routes. It impacts how quick you throw the ball in some cases, because you're going to scheme in such a way where you're not having to hold the football in the pocket because you're terrified of that guy. And there is no question, there came a time in that game where J.J. Watt was trying to take it over. There's no question about it. And so they don't have that kind of difference maker without him up there. And I think that allows the Colts to sort of evenly distribute sort of their pass protection and their efforts up front rather than focusing so much of it on that one guy. I mean, Houston's still going to come after you, but I just don't think that it gives them that one guy that you have to gear everything toward him just to get out of there in one piece. And that's, I mean, look, there's only a handful of players on the planet who can do what J.J. Watt does, and that guy's not playing. So if that's not a break for the Colts, I don't know what is.
So Stephen Holder, the Athletic, he's via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. We saw how Baltimore handled Deshaun Watson, I mean, amazingly well in Baltimore on Sunday. I mean, there's your blueprint right there. Easier said than done, and certainly the personnel is different. But is the game plan, again, much the same for this Colts defense going into Thursday night?
Well, I will say this, just generally speaking, I really like what this defense is doing right now, and I think they have shown something in the past few weeks that I think is going to come into play here. So Darius Leonard has been much more active as a blitzer and as sort of a quarterback spy in recent weeks. Now watch what he's done. I talked to him about that today, in fact. And I said, Darius, you're sometimes showing the blitz, but you don't blitz, but you might just sort of hang out there at the line of scrimmage and wait for the play to break down, and then he goes and gets the quarterback. We saw that once on Sunday. We saw another instance where he jumped up in the passing lane and knocked the ball down at the line of scrimmage, batted ball. I mean, those are just deflating plays for the offense. And clearly they weren't playing as mobile a quarterback, but as they're going to see on Thursday. But it's going to be a situation, or I think an opportunity, I guess, for Darius Leonard to do some of those things. I really like some of the variables that Matt Eberflus, their defensive coordinator, has trotted out there. I think Malik Hooker playing at the line of scrimmage, look, it's probably not his favorite thing to do, but I tell you what, the guy's having an impact right now. He has had a couple of tackles for loss here in the past few weeks. We're seeing a side of Malik Hooker that we've never seen, and I just think they have opened all kinds of possibilities with some of the usages of players we've seen on defense right now.
So Stephen Holder with us. Is this a must-win in your estimation?
So I was thinking about this today. Believe it or not, you could argue it's a bigger game for Houston. And I'll tell you why. I mean, listen, I think the Colts need to win this game. I think this is their biggest game of the season, no question about it. But I do think there's a chance they could recover if they lose. Here's what's at stake for Houston. If Houston loses this game, then now you have lost the season. You have lost the season series to Indianapolis, 0-2 against the Colts, and then certainly down in the division, and then going on to play New England. So you're talking about the possibility of losing 2 straight. I mean, is that going to sit well? Is that going to be something they can recover from? That puts them in an impossible position. So I think Houston's got to win this one. Otherwise, they're gonna really be under the gun, and we don't know how this Houston team will respond to that kind of pressure. And that's the question. I mean, last year they had an amazing run and got out in front of the division, and it's a little different than having to sort of make up ground and play from behind. So Houston has to – I think Houston has to avoid that fate. And for the Colts, I mean, they've been there, done that, right? I mean, they would still be in the wild card race, still have a very manageable schedule down the stretch, but and getting some players back healthy. So I think the Colts could recover, but it can't be, I think, overstated how big this is, how big of an opportunity this is for the Colts. I mean, they could put all kinds of pressure on Houston by winning this game.
Would you have taken 6-4 at this point before the start of the season? I mean, after Luck unloaded that news on us 2 weeks prior to the start.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I didn't think they would have gotten there the way they did. Okay, I didn't expect them to go to Kansas City and win, and I didn't expect them to lose to the freaking Miami Dolphins. So they got there a little differently, but I think that 6-4 would have been fine. Look, I had them at 9-7 after Andrew dropped that news. I said 9-7 is kind of where I see them. I said with an outside chance at 10-6. I thought they could get to 10-6. They can do that. They're right there. They have a chance to do that, and I think it could be a remarkable season if they pull that off. I mean, there have been so many ups and downs this season that I don't think we've sometimes sufficiently taken enough time to stand back and kind of appreciate, what this is and what they're doing right now. Because, look, they do eat up some goodwill, right, by losing to the Steelers and Dolphins, and that's just a fact. But all things considered, every team has setbacks, and with the injuries they've had, which are substantial, huge injuries to their best players. And all their best players have missed multiple games this year for the most part. So that alone is a lot to overcome, and then you factor in the Luck news. So, I mean, they have put themselves in an incredible position, and they deserve a lot of credit for it.
Yeah, I would agree. I look at it this way. You would take it. 6-4 after that news, you would take it. And you mentioned the path in which they have taken to get here has been interesting because the bar was raised after the Kansas City and the Houston games where I thought there was an opportunity to string some wins together, and then you become what Baltimore is right now. And because they're not what Baltimore is, not sitting there with 8 wins, that makes it a little bit different, and you're a little bit more critical about it.
Yeah, and I think it also has served as a reminder for me that, that's right, they're not quite there yet. I forgot about that. And what I mean by that is this team is still 2 years removed from 4-12. Now, I get that in the NFL, you can have a quick turnaround. Right? No one sort of throws you a parade for having a quick turnaround in the NFL because it's kind of geared toward that happening with parity and all those things. But that doesn't mean it's automatic, man. I mean, it's a tough thing to pull off, and not everybody does it. I mean, there are teams that get stuck in those cycles. The Colts are not in that cycle. They are steadily rebounding from where they were. And, at the same time, I think, it is a process. And there have been times this year where we were reminded of that. And, that's healthy sometimes to get a little bit of a slap upside the head to remember that, this is a young team. They got work to do. They're really young. And the future's bright.
Is it unfair of me, though? Because my philosophy is when you're there, you're there. Because there's no counting on – and here's why I have this philosophy. And you go back to the third year of Andrew Luck, and they were there. They lost to New England, clearly better AFC title game, and there are no promises after that. And then they went into the crapper, and, I mean, everything got overturned, and it was brutal. So that's me. You have to take full advantage of it, and when you're there, you are there. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, it absolutely does. And let me be clear now. Losing that Steelers game, inexcusable. Losing to the Dolphins, completely inexcusable. And you're right. I don't care. Andrew Luck, no Andrew Luck. I don't care. Brian Hoyer, I don't care. You don't lose that game. It can't happen. I mean, listen, I understand how it happens. Okay, if you do 16 things wrong and everything goes wrong on the right day, you're going to lose to anybody in this league. And that's what happened against Miami. But it can't happen. If you're a good team, that can't happen. It happened. It's over. They have a chance to recover from it. But, I mean, they wasted a lot of opportunities. No question about it. And there's going to be a lot of kicking themselves when this season is over if it doesn't turn out the way they hope. But the good news for them is it's in their hands. So if you think you're a good team, then damn it, go show it.
Completely agree. And the kicking themselves thing, I mean, all you had to do was watch that Monday nighter last night. And, I know it was early and there was a lot of questions there, but, that's basically on the foot of the kicker. And you're talking about now this Charger team being a 4-win team, 4-7, fading out, obviously going to go in a new direction. I'm assuming with Phillip Rivers after last night's performance moving forward. And that might be, beyond the Miami embarrassment a couple of weeks ago, the biggest missed opportunity because you had the greatest of all time with that opportunity on his foot.
Yeah, I mean, I look at every loss they've had this year. It's just like, if you bang your head against the wall if you're them. I mean, the other thing about that Los Angeles game is that defense, that was an atrocious performance, not in terms of how they played, but how they tackled specifically. I mean, you remember the Eckler play, for example, it's like somebody tackled this guy. Darius Leonard didn't show up that day. I think Darius, by the way, has turned it around and is getting ready to have himself a hell of a finish if he keeps playing the way he is. But and believe me, he heard the critics. Trust me, I've had the conversation with him. He was not too happy with even me and some of my tweets. But the point is, man, they left a lot on the table this year. The good news is 6 games is a long way to go, and there's a lot left out there for them that's still on the bone, and it's up to them. But there's no question, there's going to be. They have already. They have a lot of regrets for the way this season went, and not all of it on Adam Vinatieri, but a lot of it is, yes.
So Stephen Holder, The Athletic, he's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Before I let you go, and I know that it starts with Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson is mixed in there, but should any love be given to Jacoby Brissett? And I know he's missed games, and I know that his numbers aren't eye-popping, but given the situation, all-encompassing situation, how he took over, when he took over, what's transpired with this team, should he be a part of any conversation right now?
Look, I would say that those other teams, those other guys you talked about, I mean, they are having such phenomenal seasons that, look, he's not going to top those guys. But what I'd say is this: I think you can be very valuable to your team without necessarily everyone out there in the rest of the country understanding your value, if that makes sense. I think Jacoby Brissett's value is not just that, all right, he manages, he doesn't turn the ball over, things of that nature, and obviously makes the kinds of plays that he made on Sunday where he turns sacks into touchdowns. He can do those are all things that bring value. But I would say his value is also just in keeping everything intact after Andrew Luck went down. I don't think people understand what kind of weight was on this kid's shoulders. I mean, what if he screwed this up? Just imagine, what if he would have screwed it up? And I think the pressure that was on Jacoby, now he didn't exhibit it. He never showed any cracks. But I got to believe, man, in his heart of hearts, I mean, here he is, a gut punch, completely stunned at the news. And it's like, all right, buddy, here's the ball. Go get him. And it's like, what? I mean, the stakes were so high for Jacoby Brissett. The fact that he didn't screw it up alone, I think, is worth so much because that was immense pressure that he never saw coming and wasn't prepared to handle. He did it and did a great job of it.
All right, I know it's a short week for you too. What are you writing about? So
I got a story for game day that I want people to check out. It has to do with game day meals or pregame meals. That's one that's out of left field, but believe me, I had fun with this one. So check that out. I'm going to drop that probably tomorrow night or Thursday morning for game day. Just a little bit of a window into how some of these guys get ready for the game.
What's funny about this is back in the day, everything was made. This is before you got here. Marvin Harrison was here, had this great career, and they ordered Tasty Cakes. This is before the Tasty Cakes came west from the East Coast, where he's from in Philadelphia. And that essentially, as described to us, was his diet. And it's incredible to hear these guys. I mean, even these finely tuned athletes that are chiseled in how they maintain or find out how they should maintain their diet and their eating habits once they get into the NFL. It is amazing.
Well, yeah, if you read my story, you will learn of a certain Colts player who's a very good player who has a steady diet of Cocoa Puffs. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm not making that up.
Man, life's so unfair, man. Come on. That's unfair.
Exactly. I mean, I got to eat like, leaves off the trees so I don't have a heart attack. And these guys just do whatever the hell they want. Come on, man.
This was funny. I brought this up the other day regarding Giannis Antetokounmpo when he was here in town on Saturday. And he gets away with carrying it, and his Euro step is about as much as a travel can be, yet he gets away with it. And he is so freakishly athletic that it's unfair anyway. Why should a dude like that be able to get away with it so much? It's incredible. You know what I mean? It would make the rest of us feel a hell of a lot better.
Yep. I'm with you, man. 100%.
Right. We'll be reading. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate you.
All right, buddy.
Stephen Holders on the Eddie Moore Automotive Group hotline. I can't believe I gave some love. And I gave a shout-out to Ed Malloy. And I loathe Ed Malloy. I mean, of the best in the world, he might be, and you know how I view the best in the world. As the best in the world, he might be the best in the world, if you know what I mean. But, man, he stepped up. He stepped up with that carrying call, and I hadn't seen one whistled in the NBA since 1986. It was a beautiful thing. I may have to completely recalibrate my logic for Ed Malloy. I couldn't stand. I mean, and then he did that. He just stepped up and did that. Once in 1,000 times, but he did it. JMV at 1070thefan.com. Hey, JMV, I guess the Colts were right about Jacoby as a top 20 quarterback, unless you can think of 20 quarterbacks you would rather have. There was no doubt, Seltzer. They were absolutely right about it. No doubt. And we question. Listen, I'm not even going to put that on we. I know that's a common theme. You got to put it on we. Me. I questioned that all summer long. That was on me. Much like my bad engagement back in the day with my wife. I have to wear that I got to wear this one forever too. There's some I got to wear. I mean, I'm going to wear that one forever like I wore the draft Andrew Luck and keep Peyton Manning. I got to wear that one forever, too. But back in the day, the original Golick and Greenberg, that would be on the Mount Rushmore of bad takes. Easy. Quick one. We'll come back. You, me, rest of the way if you guys want to jump on board. Some of you are mad at me. Some of you are happy with me. Whatever. Whatever happens, my toes are still tapping. We'll talk with you at 239-1070 on the other side. And 30 minutes from now, at some point, somebody's going to win some Black Crowes tickets, and I'm going to be on the road next 3 days. I'll tell you when, where, and how you can be there next.
Join us for Franciscan Health's Movember Tailgate Party, Saturday, November 23rd from 11 to 2 at Books and Brews on Shelby Street. Free food, health screenings, prizes, and more. Don't suffer through another winter in a cold, drafty home. Call Universal Windows Direct. Universal Windows Direct offers windows that are made to perform in our climate with aerospace technology that helps the windows last up to 5 times longer than the competition and come with a lifetime warranty. Right now, buy one window, get one window free. Buy 13, get 13 free. Buy 75 and get 75 free. There are no limits and 0% financing for 36 months plus free installation. Now, some restrictions apply, so call 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com for your free in-home estimate, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
PAI, WeGrowHairAndy.com. It's Darren Andrews. Make sure if you got some coverage that's not where it needs to be, they'll take care of you. I mean, he'll get it going again. It's real. It is real growing hair in spots that you thought had gone dormant, and there was no chance. And you're going to have to deal with a balding dome or receding hairline or thinning hair. No, not with PAI. WeGrowHairAndy.com for the private consultation today.
Fast, reliable internet. It's important to your business. At Comcast Business, we go beyond fast with amazing solutions and a great deal.
What kind of solutions?
Well, solutions like automatic 4G LTE backup for more complete reliability.
I like the sound of that. What else?
Powerful Wi-Fi that keeps your employees connected. And bandwidth you can allocate between your customers and employees. I'm not even done yet. Comcast Business has advanced voice solutions at affordable prices and cloud-based security for all your devices.
And that great deal?
Right now, get started with 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and auto pay. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without paperless billing and auto pay. Offer ends 12/22/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra. Subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours.
Twin Peaks is your ultimate sports lodge with a menu to match. Pair any of their made-from-scratch menu items with a frosty 29-degree draft beer served by a beautiful Twin Peaks girl, and you're in for a legendary sports watching experience. The 2020 Twin Peaks calendar is here. The calendar has $75 in savings throughout the year, and $5 from every calendar purchased is donated straight to Folds of Honor. You're welcome. Get yours in store or online at twinpeaksrestaurant.com/shop. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey, it's really hard for me to learn real good because I don't have the smarts real good. But here's what I have learned recently from Brad Howell and Evan McDowell. That ATI physical therapy, that you don't have to live with the pain. And there are ways to get right without having surgery. Physical therapy at ATI, ATIPT.com for a location nearest you. We have been there. We have done that, and I firmly believe in it, and you should too. You don't always have to have the surgery, and you absolutely don't have to live with the pain. So do it. Get it done, address it, find out what your needs are, and let ATI and their therapist go to work for you. For a location nearest you and that consultation online, ATIPT.com today.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires, only at Big O Tires, the team you trust.
It is the best part of your game day experience. BullseyeEventGroup.com. Titans and the Colts. Get your Colts VIP tailgate passes right now. It is the absolute best. All you can eat, all you can drink. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
3rd down. Grossman up top again. Touchdown. Tom Hayes. His 2nd touchdown catch of the night. And for Grossman, that's 5 touchdown passes. Rex Grossman is so accurate that if his receiver just gets a step or 2 on the defensive back, Grossman can deliver it on the spot in a hurry, and the defensive back has no chance.
That is Rex Grossman from Bloomington High School South. Vince Welch with the call, the 98 5A state title game where the Panthers beat Homestead 35-14. You know, Rex goes on to play in Gainesville for Florida, drafted in the 1st round of the 03 draft by the Bears, Super Bowl 41. You know all about that, right? Well, here's what you need to know. If you want to see future stars and not have to pay what you normally pay professionally or collegially, the IHSAA Football State Finals coming up next weekend, 29th and the 30th, Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving, $15 available on game days, and you can see up to 3 games each day for that price. I'm telling you what, make it downtown. It's going to be fun down here anyway. The Pacers are playing. Circle of Light's going to be going on. Magnificent time of year here. Get your tickets now with Lucas Oil Stadium box office, or go to IHSA.com today.
Think you know Colts football, but do you really know what's happening? It's not just football season. It's Venturi season.
Brought to you by the District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing. And now downtown at Georgia Street and Meridian.
Catch the coach every Monday at 4:30 with JMV. With bonus Coach Venturi. Tuesdays on the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe. And later with Dan Dockett. On 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
I want you out in front of the school with her. I'd like to have a few words with you, by God.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Semi-state coming up this Friday night. Talked to Greg Rakestraw about that a little bit earlier. We'll dive into that with Cal Neddenripp of the Star coming up on tomorrow's show. All right, let me... John Williams sends me this, and he's pretty accurate on this here, right? How is being a top 20 quarterback a compliment? Let's say Jacoby is the 16th best quarterback in the league. That's just calling him average. Well, no. Hold on a second, John. I'm not saying that. I am saying that my take, remember when Frank Reich, remember when Chris Ballard during the summertime said that he was a top 20 quarterback? And I sat here saying, yeah, we got to see that. I went through different teams. How many teams could he start for? There's no doubt. I mean, that team rate of who he could quarterback is incredibly higher now, in my opinion, than it was back then. So, in essence, I'm calling myself out and not taking anything at all away from Jacoby Brissett. That was, what do they call it? That's an old take exposed right there is what it is. Hey, JMV, nervous or not, Brissett was given an opportunity that every backup quarterback in the league dreams of. He's certainly making the best of it. Completely agree. Look at Kevin Lee, the pride of the Monon Bell call on Saturday. What a great ending. What a great call. Adam is at 239-1070. Adam, hello. How are you?
I'm good, JMV. How you doing?
Great. Go ahead, man.
I got a question for you. So we got 3 running backs available for us this Thursday. Of the 3, Hines, Wilkins, and Williams, who do you think is going to have the breakout game?
Man, I don't know. I don't know if any of them will have a breakout game, man. I don't know.
Who's going to get the most snaps? I mean, one of them's we got to have somebody in there to at least pass block.
I think by virtue of last weekend, Williams will get the most. You know what I mean? And I still think they'll use Jordan Wilkins in a similar capacity. I think Williams plays the role as Mac, and Wilkins continues on in his familiar role. Does that make sense to you? I think that's how it'll go.
Yeah, real quick. Did you hang up on me already?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hey, real quick. I want to get your real quick thoughts. Once again, my Center Grove Trojans are playing in semi-state against Ben Davis. Eric Moore's got them all fired up again here in Greenwood. Who you got, Ben Davis, Center Grove?
Man, you know what? Because I know Eric so well, I'm really proud of him. And I'm really proud of his team because they were basically written off, Adam. I mean, you know that. They were written off. And I know that they got Carson back, and that's a good thing, certainly. But I think he would call me full of blank and say that I'm, don't know what I'm talking about, and that's fine. But I think this is one of his best coach seasons to get this team where it is right now, man. I mean, really, I do.
I would agree with you, man. I'm going to hang up and love your show. I'm going to continue listening.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. I think I've run some people off today, but I'm glad Adam's there. He'll make up for those I ran off. I'm kind of like even Steven. Hey, Kuntz in Belton, Texas says, here's my monthly patting myself on the back with a Jacoby take way back. He did. Kuntz in Belton, Texas, who is the pride of drop-off line sports in the morning when we do it with my toothless daughter now. No, not because I'm from Southern Indiana either, because of a legal screen. But no, seriously. He said that, and I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't listen to it. But the one thing that I am, hey, listen, I will sit here, and I will own it, and I will wear these things. I mean, if I didn't, I'd try to hide from them or try to make something up or act. If I'm somebody else, I try to act like I didn't say it in the first place. Or conveniently forget. But now I wear it. It's what makes it more interesting. I mean, I sit here, and I have to make these calls. And oftentimes they're going to miss the mark. Not much, right, Kevin Lee? But often they're going to miss the mark. Occasionally, mark missing.
If the mark wasn't missed, you're not trying.
I'm trying.
Hey, I've got breaking news.
Break it.
You mentioned the Monon Bell game, so I'm still on the email list.
Right on.
Most of the listeners probably know Bill Lynch.
Is it being moved somewhere?
Bill Lynch is retiring, the DePaul coach, the
like
former
Bill Lynch,
Indiana
man.
and Ball State and Butler coach. Great guy. So he goes out a winner. Wins his last game.
It was a great call by you. And I'm not saying that because you're sitting here right in front of me. That's a true story.
You wouldn't tell me if I stunk? It's always a challenge when you haven't done a game for a long time. It's the first football game I've done all year. And, you're doing 2 teams that you're not particularly familiar with.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I just like to stay somewhat coherent as far as doing football and basketball games. And I love that game. That game has so much tradition and history. It's Division III, but it has the significance of a big-time Division I game.
And given how awful I am here on a daily basis, and certainly how awful, and I'm told how awful I am on a daily basis, wouldn't it be enjoyable at some point to have somebody turn me loose doing play-by-play? Can you imagine how bad that would be?
I think that'd be fun.
I'll give you a true story on this.
Do we have any tapes from circa 1992
there might
have
be
surfaced?
One. I was so bad, and this is a true story. JMV 88, and you've heard the JMV 88 on re-entries here before. JMV 88, that was so bad that I was doing in the late summer of 1988, I was doing North Davies and North Knox for a station from Vincennes, and I was asked to leave the press box by the play-by-play man because I was so bad at what I was doing. I was just like occasionally jumping in, and I was getting the yard
you were
markers
the analyst.
wrong.
You were the color man.
I was I was terrible. and I don't think he liked my voice, which was common, and is common. You know what I mean?
But you were
was
probably
pleased.
stepping
you
on
sucked so bad. No, I wasn't. No, I knew my place. There was a time, this is a true story. There was a time at the other station when I first started at the other station, I would tape my updates. You know, back when we were all 24/7 live, we had live bodies in there, and I'd go in there at 6 in the morning, and I would cover up ESPN Outdoors, and I would have to do 3 updates an hour, and I was so concerned about I would tape them. I wouldn't do them live. I'd tape them. That's a true story.
Here at the other station in town?
Oh, yeah. And that was back in 2000? Yeah, back in when I first started.
Wow. I
would tape them. Oh, man, this is going to screw this up. So they had something called the Vox Pro right next to me.
Well, that's not unheard of when they're not live and you have the ability. A lot of people tape things.
I mean, but now it's like, and I'm not saying it, but now it's kind of half-assed. Like, I don't want to be there, so I'm going to tape it. But I was actually there and taped.
That is why we tape.
I was sitting in front of the microphone and, oh, man, I don't know about this. Let's tape it and make sure it's got set right there and did it. I was such a wussy. It was incredible.
And you'd been doing this for over a decade at the time?
I had been doing it for a decade and like much worse than now, if you can imagine.
So
that.
I would say your story is an incredible success story. There should be like a Hallmark movie about you.
I think
overcoming your fears.
A Hallmark movie would be titled "How."
There'd be a gazebo there, right?
Big how and a question. How? Wait a minute. How? It's incredible. It has been incredible. It's been fun. You know what's funny though? This is the only place I ever wanted to be. I mean, going all the way back to high school, we didn't have any media classes other than yearbook.
Well, I think that applies for most people in radio. If you're from Indiana, you wanted to work for WIBC 1070.
Yeah.
That was, and when I started doing this, when I was in junior high and high school, if you would have told me I would have gotten the WIBC, I would have said, all right, that's good enough. I'll stay there the rest of my life.
It was.
And
that's
I'm still
all
here.
I wanted to do, man. This has been it's fascinating. And what I like most about this, and some people are mad at me today because of my takes on local schools and such, but just the way that it is. But the best part about this is I'm a huge, and you know me from this, I make friends quickly and easily, and I love having a lot of them. And this job, man, it's easy. I mean, even though sometimes you got to put up with jackassery, this is I get to meet and talk to. I get to have drinks with everybody. This is this is like this is the 20s dream job where you could just sit around and drink and talk sports and meet people and hang out, man.
Yeah.
This is it.
I haven't had a real job in a long time, since college, and I don't think I'd be very good at it.
I worked at Team and Tire. I don't want any part of that, man.
I drove a forklift for a little while.
Yeah.
And I was in charge of trash at Washington Square Mall.
Were you really?
That makes you buckle up and study a little bit more. My first job out of high school was, quote, maintenance.
Yeah.
And since I can't really fix anything, you're assigned to empty out the trash cans in the mall. There's nothing worse than that.
I was working
there probably is, but there's not much worse than that.
I was working at Team and Tire for a friend of mine in Owensburg, and this is a true story. I once dropped an F-150 back in 1994. I dropped it off the lift and completely crushed the right front quarter panel.
Ooh.
Crushed it.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I mean, I just dropped it right off the lift, right off the jack. Yeah, right off. It was a lot of money. So I knew right then and there that wasn't me.
So how did you not end up joining me in trash recycling?
Should have been. You did a great job, by the way, Monon Bell.
Thanks. It was fun.
That was fantastic, man. I know a lot of people enjoyed it. Hey, John is at 239-1070 before the break. Go ahead, John. How are you?
What's going on, JMV? You know, that Jacoby Brissett call for the Colts.
Yeah.
That's a career maker right there. You know, they've pushed this guy along to the point where he's successful at winning games. I think there's still more to see. They haven't let the playbook go yet. This dude has a cannon. And
I will tell you this. You're right. I think you were alluding to the fact that this team, whether it's Reich or Sirianni, they have brought him along well. They really haven't dumped a lot on his shoulders. And that's what they wanted to do when Luck was here. And that's what they did so well when Luck was here and healthy a year ago. And that's just kind of continued with Brissett. And I think the way offensively he's been utilized by the coach and the offensive coordinator has been as key a reason as he's been so good as anything.
Absolutely. And talk about dream jobs. Did you hear Grady on the
Oh, yeah, he was great,
team?
man. He was great,
hometown guy calling his hometown team. Man, that's what dreams are made of.
And again, hey, John, thank you. And again, you're not going to find a better dude than that guy either.
And our guy Grady is
awesome.
good.
Yeah, he is. Yep, he is. He still works for Yes, right?
Yeah, and I would imagine that job helped him get to CBS because he works with Ian Eagle. And I've spoken with Ian before, and Ian thinks very, very highly of Michael. I talked with Ian probably 2 or 3 months after Michael went to work on Nets broadcasts, and I had told Ian before he was hired what I thought of Michael, and he said, hey, yeah, you were right. This guy is big time. He's good, and I'm sure that recommendation from Ian Eagle went a long way, and you'd have never guessed this was this guy's first game on network television on a football sideline.
And being there, too, gives you – he's got such a great opportunity, man, because you're right there, and you got CBS, and now he's going to be as a part of the CBS Sports Network doing some games, too. There's such a great opportunity. I mean, that was perfect for him. That was just such a great move. And you're right, man. He was fantastic on Sunday. And it's good to see. I mean,
just remember, Kyle, someday we'll be talking about how well you're doing.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to be in assisted living foundation here in about a week. I think my wife sits at home, I think, and counts the minutes until that takes place. So I guess get out of here.
Mostly she just wants you fully employed so you're not home very often.
Yeah, that probably helps.
I know the feeling.
Probably helps. All right, it's Kaylee. Trackside's coming up at 7 o'clock. And yeah, I know. I mentioned everybody's voice tracking. Everybody voice tracks nowadays. We don't voice track. We're different. We don't voice track here. When I do B105.7, I don't voice track there. We need more non-voice tracking live radio. Yeah, we need. Quick break. We'll come back. I tell you what right now, 239-1070. I didn't play the re-entry song for you, but let's just go ahead and do it. Black Crowes, August. It's coming up. Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center, the reunion. The Robinson brothers have buried the hatchet, and they're back together again. If only we could get the Gallagher brothers to do the same with Oasis. But the Robinson brothers are back, and the Black Crowes. Ruoff Home Mortgage Music Center, number 10 at 239-1070 is going to go. Live Nation, thank you. Quick shout to my man Kyle and Kimmy and Jimmy and the gang. You guys are the absolute best. And what they've realized over all else, that you sports fans that listen to sports talk love music too. And we've been together for a long time now, and I appreciate that a great deal. Number 10 at 239-1070. You'll get Black Crowes tickets. Back with you. We'll wrap it up and tell you where I'm going to be tomorrow next.
This November, join the fan as we celebrate Movember with Franciscan Health. Listen on air and visit 1075thefan.com for tips to stay healthy. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
Warning: this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Welcome to Velo, the modern take on nicotine. It's the hassle-free nicotine pouch that leaves the chargers, smoke, and mess where they belong, in the past. So whether you're mid-flight or mid-meeting, on the grind or off the grid, living large or laying low, with Velo, there are no limits to where you can go. Go to Velo.com now to find your retailer. Velo, no limits. Website restricted to age 21 plus tobacco consumers. Underage sale prohibited.
Hey, I'm Indy 500 champ Tony Kanaan, here with Chuck Jones from U.S. Chevy. Chuck, the holidays are coming, and I need a big sale.
We've got you covered with our Black Friday event.
Is this right? Silverados for $199 a month?
That's right, just $199 a month.
Wow, do we have any SUVs?
Yep, we have the all-new Trax for just $149 a month. Just $149 a month.
That's unreal for a brand new SUV.
Yes, sir. Find new roads to Bill Us to Chevy or online at BillUsToChevy.com.
Ask for the Black Friday deal.
What would you do with the money if you didn't have to pay your house payment for 2 months, especially around the holidays?
That's right, no house payment for 2 months. This is James Hawkins at Golden Oak Lending. Don't let money problems spoil your holidays. You can use the increased value of your home to pay off bills or get cash out.
Why pay 18% credit card interest when Golden Oak's mortgage rates are in the 2s?
If it sounds complicated, it's not. Just call us. We're here in town, we do all the work, The call is free, and we'll tell you in about 10 minutes if you qualify. You have nothing to lose, and we want to talk to you.
Refinance to a low rate, get cash out, and put 2 months of house payments in your pocket. Visit GoldenOakLending.com or call 317-706-GOLD. 706-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending, cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, regulated by the Indiana Department of Financial Institutions.
Hey, it's Love Heating and Air Conditioning. Shout out John and Chris, guys on the show, and I appreciate them too. They're the best you're going to find at your heating and cooling. And now we're in the heating variety of the season, and you've already been hit with the deep freeze, so you kind of know what your heating unit is capable of doing right now. I'm going to tell you this. It needs cleaned. It needs checked. And this is the best time to do it because now, since John and Chris are new on board, they put out a JMV special, and you're not going to find a better price than this right now. I mean, I've seen price tags like $89, $90 or whatever. No. You, with a JMV special, with a clean and a check, pay $64.95. How about that? Saving money and making sure your furnace is ready for the cold winter months ahead with people that you absolutely trust. I do. Love Heating and Air Conditioning and the $64.95 JMV special. Ask for it online. love-hvac.com.
Holiday Magic, brought to you by Shane Company.
Green gemstone earrings, because her eyes still captivate you.
A gold bar necklace engraved with the coordinates of where you met, because it was love at first sight.
A ring with a sparkling white sapphire to symbolize your promise.
The magic of Shane Company jewelry is that it allows you to capture your story with something that will last forever. Each of these great gifts is under $300. Our non-commissioned sales team is warm and welcoming. We'll help you find perfect gifts, like our stunning London Blue Topaz pendant with white sapphire accents for $185. It's a great value for a sophisticated look, and the matching earrings are $215. Put one gift under the tree and one in her stocking. When you spend $400 or more on a gift, you'll receive our Shane Company Forever Link necklace for free while supplies last.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Hey, FanDuel Sportsbook is officially live in the state of Indiana. Hopefully you're dialed in, and if you're not, here's what I want you to do. Dial in with me right now because we're talking parlays, props, every game, money line spreads in this state right now, and some of the best features you're going to find any place. And promotions daily, they change to help it make it more fun, to help you make more money. It's a beautiful thing, too. Right now, FanDuel Sportsbook is offering you a risk-free bet worth up to $500 when you sign up with the promo code JMV. That means if you lose your first bet, FanDuel will give you a refund and site credit. So if you're thinking about a game out there, I mentioned number 15, Michigan and Indiana. That line is Michigan minus 8.5 right now. What do you think about that? Well, you can think about it, and don't forget, you can bet on that game risk-free. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now. Visit FanDuel.com/sportsbook to claim your risk-free bet with the promo code JMV. Use it, the promo code JMV. First online wager only. Refund issued as site credit. Terms apply. Must be at least 21. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Every year, Indianapolis weather gets more and more unpredictable. If your furnace acts the same way, it might be time for a new one. Hi, this is Corey Kreitzberger, General Manager at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. We've been customizing HVAC systems to fit homes and budgets for over 60 years. So call 855-1-HOUR for your new furnace.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. License 8001-0668.
All right, I need plumbing. I am the definition of guy that needs plumbing. You want to know why? I'll give you a great example. Kitchen faucet. I turn that thing off, and there's like some rumbling, like somebody starting a tractor up under my house. That can't be good. Who do I call? Lance and the team at LD Smith Plumbing, 24/7, 365. They can tackle any issue, and they are presently tackling the issue of my undercarriage plumbing sounding like a tractor. That's an issue. It's a big issue. That's why I go to LD Smith Plumbing at 317-284-9526, and you should too. How about this? Get $150 off any gas or electric water heater. Do that right now at 317-284-9526. But any job, large or small, nothing is either direction too little or too much for Lance and his team to tackle for you. LD Smith Plumbing, 24/7, 365, 317-284-9526. 526 online, ldsmithplumbing.com.
Join us for Franciscan Health's Movember Tailgate Party, Saturday, November 23rd from 11 to 2 at Books and Brews on Shelby Street. Free food, health screenings, prizes, and more.
The Butler Bulldogs host to the Eagles of Morehead State. Friday evening at 6:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
All right, Hamilton.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Oh, you guys have been great today. Thank you. Tomorrow, Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson. Larceny Bourbon Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots with Brent Halverson. You can join us there. Free liquid flowing. Bowen tomorrow, too. And we'll load up some other things as well. I think I'm going to do some Sirius XM radio. I'm doing a football show. I kind of want to do their Sirius XM 33. I kind of want to do one of their music channels. Hey, quick shout out to my daughter, too, who always puts it on Sirius XM channel 50, which is the OG. It's old school groove, and the fact that she loves that makes me really happy. Maybe one day I can do that. But now, seriously. Tomorrow should be a blast. Thursday, Twin Peaks. I'll be doing this show until 5:30. I think Big Joe's going to join me for the Colts pregame huddle up there. And then we'll get you set for the game action down in Houston on a Thursday night. Friday, we're at Manley's Irish Mutt over off of Shadeland and 10th, which is always a great time. That's a Bud Light Blue Friday with Titans Colts tickets to give away coming up then. Hey, 239-1070. Kyle, what are we giving away here? Wrestling tickets tomorrow night?
Some tickets to the All Elite Wrestling tomorrow night at the Coliseum.
Tony Khan, who's Shad Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars' son, he is the CEO and the president. I had a conversation podcast, 1075thefan.com. He is a great dude. A great dude. Don't want to miss that. 1075thefan.com. All right, number 10 for the wrestling event at the Coliseum tomorrow night, correct? 4-pack for you. Number 10, you're going to go. Thank me later for it. Hey, my thanks to Greg Rakestraw, Stephen Holder, Jeremiah Johnson. We were all over the map with local issues today. Thank you very much. You know I love you, teachers. Always have, always will. Trackside, the fantastic Kevin Lee. Kurt Cavan as well. The fantastic Kurt Cavan. 7 o'clock tonight. I'm with you tomorrow, Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson. Larceny Locks, Luna Azul Tequila Shots with Brent Halverson beginning at 3. Kyle, great job. Have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow at 3.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of tires. Only at